A new year is upon us, but unrest and uncertainty fill the air. The wounds and scars of 2020 still linger. The winds of war blow fiercely at our door. Lines were crossed, paradigms shattered.
I've known this man since he was 10 years old, and I watched him as he became a world-class athlete. I watched him as he became the best wrestler in the world. I was there like an invisible hand. All the paradigms are being broken.
Unholy alliances formed. A champion from another world was welcomed.
And taking advantage of Tony Khan's hospitality.
Welcome to the wrestling business, kid.
We've just been jobbed.
All the paradigms are being broken.
Ruthless renegades with a ravenous appetite for destruction.
Oh my God, it's Gallows and Anderson! Gallows and Anderson! They don't even work here! What is this, an impact trap? No, it isn't! Come on! Look at this! Look at this! Unbelievable.
Noble warriors, furious and fierce.
There are certain things in life that are just out of our control, and unfortunately, my ability to compete at Hard to Kill has been dropped into that bucket. I promise you that no matter what, I'll be back in Impact.
Moose, bro!
I tried to get a hold of you.
Moose?
One thing that he loves more than himself is winning.
Hello, sports fans. You are looking inside the famous Skyway Studios in beautiful and resilient Nashville, Tennessee. The eyes of the world are fixed on Impact Wrestling as we embark on a historic and groundbreaking night in the great sport of professional wrestling.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the opening contest at Hard to Kill, a tag team match scheduled for one fall. Introducing team number one, Rosemary and Crazy Steve, Decay.
My name is Matt Stryker. I am joined by a veteran of the Ring Wars, over 3 decades to provide analysis, the one and only D'Lo Brown. D'Lo, tonight, such an important night in our sport.
You said it earlier, the eyes of the wrestling world are focused squarely on Impact Wrestling, and I guarantee you, we're going to show the world exactly what we are made of. We're going to show the world Impact Wrestling is hard to kill.
Absolutely. Look at it like a 9-course meal. It will build to the main event that has taken the foundation of our sport and absolutely fractured it. As you look at the eerily seductive macabre of Rosemary and the outside-the-box thinking of Crazy Steve.
What great verbiage you used right there. Tremendous way to set this up. That's the whistle. That's amazing.
I appreciate it, D'Lo Brown. I'm going to be leaning on you for a lot of your analysis. You have had such a great career across the world, so you're truly going to be a valuable tool here tonight. Well, you know what I mean.
Their opponents, Tennille Dashwood and Caleb with a K.
Now, D'Lo, I don't know if you're so inclined on social media, but have you ever checked out Tennille Dashwood's Instagram?
You know, I have looked at her Instagram, and this young lady has been all over the world. One day I look and she's standing in a rainforest. The next day she's standing next to the pyramids in Egypt. She's in Giza. This woman is everywhere.
Yep.
And Caleb with a K is right there documenting it all for us to share in.
Yes, from the lens of Caleb. Caleb known for following fully, at least his namesake is. And look at Caleb. He really understands how to make a brand. And the brand that we're looking at is indeed Tennille Dashwood.
And he's an influencer, and he's influenced Tennille's career, and she's got tremendous Instagram following because of it. Look at him. He's perfect with the camera, too, by the way.
Speaking of our social followings, of course, our hashtag tonight is hard to kill. Make sure you use it. Use it often. We'll be interacting with you all night long. As Caleb gets his accessories out of the way, our referee will get this started. It's tag team match, 1 fall to a finish. Must tag in and out. Disqualifications and countouts, of course, are enforced here. There's the bell.
You know, a bit of a history lesson here. It's been 4 long years since Rosemary and Crazy Steve have teamed up to form the team of Decay. I wonder if there's any ring rust in their cohesion in the ring.
We will find out, as it looks like it's going to be Caleb and Crazy Steve to start things off.
Yeah, he's definitely crazy. I could definitely see that.
There we go, the headlock now. Crazy Steve is going to try to alleviate the pressure, and he does just that right there. Little spin through into a drop toe hold. Crazy Steve showing some wrestling prowess.
Okay, maybe he's not that crazy. He's a good tactician in the ring.
I like how Crazy Steve cuts off the ring on his taller opponent, stays close. His knee to the gut, flips Caleb with a K right over.
Did you notice the speed and intensity which Crazy Steve went after Caleb there? That knee to the lower solar plexus was placed perfectly.
And there is Rosemary.
What the?
Rosemary has had such an interesting trajectory of her career here in Impact. Another quick tag made to Crazy Steve. And it's interesting to see because everything informs everything else. Later on tonight, Knockouts tag team titles on the line. Later on tonight, Deonna Purrazzo, Knockouts champion. And I think that Rosemary deserves some credit for establishing what Madison Rain so eloquently said on the pre-show, is that this division here, this Knockouts division, is growing by leaps and bounds.
Without a doubt, I mean, the skill level of our Knockouts rivals any company anywhere in the world. Oh, is Caleb going to dive? No.
And if so, who's going to get the picture?
He's thinking about it. No, he changed his mind. And got cut off for his efforts.
Listen, you know, sometimes you have to be bold. You cannot be apprehensive. The entire world is changing, including the sports world, and now is the time to take advantage. Caleb now trying to find some reprieve, tag made, and here comes the influencer, Tennille Dashwood. Right there, she walks right into a side slam.
And you were mentioning that Rosemary has gone through an interesting trajectory. She morphs, it seems like, every week into a different version of herself.
Well, you have to reinvent yourself, especially as athletes now, as the game changes. I've said this before, I think the very best athletes in the world are competing today. That's not taking anything away from the athletes of yesterday, but the game has changed, the athletes have changed.
Well, the athletes today are bigger, stronger, and faster. And so, now.
And smarter.
And apparently smarter, and will take any shortcut out there.
Now Tennille will take advantage of an opportunity created by Caleb with a K. Cover here, is this enough? Referee down, just a 2.
And Tennille, she's not just an influencer and a girl who takes pictures and has her photo taken. Tennille is a great tactician in the ring, as you can see right here. She's taking advantage of a situation.
And there's something about bringing personality out. You know, Tennille, yes, I understand. She is beautiful. The human form is beautiful, independent of gender. But when you think about it, Tennille's personality has to come out at some point.
Yeah, I mean, like right there, look at this, pulling the hair. I mean, Tennille is just being, watch out for Caleb, watch out for Caleb. Whoa. And Tennille right there with the boot to the solar plexus.
Snapmare now taking control of the back.
Insult to injury, just giving the rub of the head there.
Cover here, and I said that this is a sport, but the noogies, while they're there's psychology there.
It's about getting in and messing with the psyche, getting in your head. It's not about inflicting pain right there. It's just saying, I can do it because I can.
Double underhook now here. What does Tennille have in mind? A modification on a tiger driver, a little bit of a double underhook suplex instead. Tag made now. Caleb trying to reposition Rosemary. It's almost as Tennille isn't used to taking direction.
No, and is...
Oh, what? No. There you good. Good for you for trying to even do that.
Yes.
And now the opportunity presents itself for Rosemary. She must make it across the ring. Tag to Crazy Steve.
Can she get there? Can she get there?
Tenille realizes the jeopardy, pulls Rosemary back. Rosemary kicking Tenille off, and tag made.
There it
Here
is.
comes Crazy Steve.
House of Fire coming in there.
Steve with a clothesline sends Caleb down. Another clothesline. Steve commanding the ring. His presence is felt. Go behind into the full Nelson snapmare, exposing the back, and now the neck crank there by Crazy Steve.
What innovative offense there by Crazy Steve.
You know, it's so easy to dismiss people because you think they're different or they don't fit into your little box. But when you get to know someone, you can be surprised at what they can bring to your world. Crazy Steve embodies that.
Basically, I'll paraphrase by saying, don't judge a book by its cover, particularly when it comes to Crazy Steve.
Caleb was able to shift his way. Oh! Is it enough?
That's got to be it.
Cover! Oh, look at Crazy Steve, so smart. Tenille just, what?
Wait.
Tenille got caught straight up and down like 6 o'clock. But here's the thing with Steve. His mentality is so frazzled at times. He should stay focused on his opponent in the ring.
And that could be the opportunity that they're looking for.
Nice.
Like that, looking for.
Wow. Listen, take nothing away from Caleb, a great athlete. Is the drop kick enough? Has it stunned Crazy Steve? No.
I got to say, I'm quite impressed by the speed and velocity in which Crazy Steve is moving tonight, and his rate of just his offense is off the charts.
Well, it's hot out the box, and we talked about it on the pre-show. Everyone understands what this night means to our sport. And these four athletes, they have to walk back through the locker room. They have to say, hey, we set the pace for the rest of the people. The first match on a show, a televised show, is incredibly important.
Well, I always wanted to be the first match. You know why? So I could walk back and say, top that.
Follow that.
Follow that. And if you can, great. If you can't, follow that.
Side Russian leg sweep by Caleb with the K. And now the arrogance.
No, he should have gone for the cover there. No.
Well, one thing about this new age is we can actually hear what goes on in the ring, so let's listen.
What the hell are they doing?
You ready?
What?
You got it? High five.
All that to hit the canvas.
And here we go. Rosemary tag, Tenille tag. They're about to collide in the middle of the ring. Left-handed clothesline by Rosemary. And here we go now. The mistress of the macabre on the move.
Sling blade.
There it is. Tenille now groggy, but has enough wherewithal to get her back to the corner. Rosemary takes advantage of that now. Head and arm. Modification on an exploder suplex.
Rosemary is bringing heavy offense here.
Like we said, it has set the table for the night that is to come. And if this is just the beginning, I can only imagine what comes next. Caleb is tagged in now, and he is met. Double mandibles, up and down.
Wow. Wow.
I believe Crazy Steve is the legal, yes, cover. Ooh, out of nowhere, Tenille coming in.
Making that nice save there. Spear!
Let's not lose sight of, I believe it is, yes, it is Rosemary, our referee just was Rosemary and Caleb that are legal. These two renew hostilities now in the middle of the ring against the backdrop of Hard to Kill.
Oh! Did you see that?
Stuff kick caught Rowe right under the chin.
My goodness, I felt that.
Now Caleb turns his attention back to Crazy Steve. Ooh, clubbing blow.
What does Tenille got?
While that goes on, Crazy Steve spins out of the way. Caleb slightly distracted. Whoa! The green mist!
Oh my God, the mist!
The mist, the different colors have legendary tales from the Far East. Some of them burn, some of them immobilize you, but back to the ring right now here. Caleb with a rear back fist. Crazy Steve is down. Caleb now looking for Rosemary, knows that she is legal, dragging her back into the ring, or at least attempting to.
If you listen, you can hear Tenille screaming in agony.
Oh
my goodness! The double mist!
The beauty of professional wrestling is that you never know what's going to happen. And just like that, I believe that it is Crazy Steve that is legal. You'll pardon me, but it's an amazing night. Sometimes we get caught up in the action.
My goodness.
Here are your winners, Rosemary and Crazy Steve, Decay.
the green mist spewed into the face of Tennille Dashwood, the favor was returned into the mug of Caleb with a K. And now as Tennille screams in the sky, Decay casts their eyes upward as well. But I think their intentions are far different.
My goodness, man. Striker, did you see that? This was a hell of a way to start the show.
Absolutely.
This is the antithesis of Hard to Kill.
And thinking about it, with tag team wrestling being a focal point of our show, it's easy to lose track of who's legal and who's not. And I have to believe that the other matches certainly are watching this and realize if they can take advantage of the referees, they can certainly take advantage of where they want to go in their careers. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome inside the Skyway Studios. What a treat for me to return to television on such a monumental night for our sport. And D'Lo Brown, you have 30 years of experience both here and abroad. I think your insight is going to be priceless.
Well, thank you, Striker. I think together we're going to make a great team. Being here for Hard to Kill, our first night together, I'm truly excited, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen unfold tonight.
Absolutely, and of course, we do a little business. All of it will be available right here, as well as some bonuses, all kinds of Easter eggs and nuggets. Get it while you can. Make sure you go to shopimpact.com. Ladies and gentlemen, our focus tonight is about the wrestling. So, D'Lo Brown, let's run down the card. Are you ready?
I am ready to do a nice little rundown here. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, I will start out with this. It's the finals of the Knockouts Tag Team Title Tournament as Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steele, the newly minted Fire and Flavor, take on Havoc and Nevaeh, and there will be new champions crowned tonight.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Manic is the best wrestler in the X Division, thus he is the champion. But Chris Bay is young and bold, and Rohit is obsessed. The triple threat rules pose a great threat to Manic's title, mind games, and more.
Families stand across the ring from each other tonight, and things are gonna get a little hardcore as Eric Young, Joe Doring, and Diener face off against Rhino, Cousin Jake, and Tommy Dreamer, and Striker.
Yes.
It's old school rules.
Oh, cannot wait for that. Folks, if you love pure wrestling, if you love the nuances of strategy in battle, then this is for you. Two of the very best athletes compete on the global stage with the Knockouts title hanging in the balance.
In a fight no one saw coming, not even me. Tonight, Ethan Page will battle the Karate Man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the flesh of Impact Wrestling has been scarred by the infamous rivalry between the cruel and sadistic Sami Callihan and the heart and spirit of Eddie Edwards. Tonight, a final chapter is written in razor-sharp steel and hatred. It will be Barbed Wire Massacre.
And in a match the entire wrestling world has been talking about for weeks, tonight we get the Good Brothers and, by God, Kenny Omega, the AEW World Champion, versus the Impact World Champion, Rich Swann, Chris Sabin, and the wild card in all of this, Moose.
Absolutely. So many moving parts. We're just merely 48 hours away from groundbreaking news that has changed everything here. And in this world, everyone has a camera now, and I understand that cameras were able to catch earlier today the Good Brothers and Don Callis and their arrival. You see Don walking in, holding the door, and that man right there is what they call the straw that stirs the drink. That's Kenny Omega, and you can just see disrespecting our longtime friend Brian Allen. There's the Good Brothers. This is the way these guys behave, and I honestly am not sure that if things like that are what we need.
Joe Doring with Eric Young, Triple Crown Heavyweight Champion in All Japan Pro Wrestling. Joe Doring is here in Impact Wrestling, and he's aligned with Eric Young.
This world doesn't belong to you.
I seen what you guys did earlier. I know what this is all about. It's not gonna happen. Not around here. Not around here.
It belongs to us.
This will continue. I declare, we are the cure. Sickness is everywhere. The disease has taken over. But we will win. We will prevail. Quicker than you learn. This world doesn't belong to you. It belongs the holy water of change. You ever get that feeling where you're not sure if you're awake or you're dreaming? All I'm offering is the truth. You are no longer sick. You are no longer contaminated. You have awakened. You are aware. Things are clear. This world doesn't belong to them. It belongs to us.
With the arrival of Eric Young, Diener, and Joe Doring, it's like a dark cloud arrives over Impact Wrestling. And Cousin Jake has finally had enough. Takes out the legs of Diener. Cousin Jake visibly gets fouled and called for the bell. Diener's gonna drop his own family with a Diener DDT on Cousin Jake.
Hard to Kill is going to be violent by design.
This Saturday, Hard to Kill, old school effing rules!
It's about 6-man tag team matches, and this one here is going to have seismic ramifications moving forward. Look at those faces, look at those names, and think about what they're capable of doing.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following 6-man tag team grudge match will be fought under old school rules and is scheduled for one fall. Introducing team number 1, Eric Young, Joe Doring, Diener, Violent by Design.
D-Lo, in a day and age where branding is so important, I think this name, Violent by Design, it goes beyond a brand. This speaks to the intentions of this trio.
This speaks to intent. They're telling you what they are. They're telling you what they are going to do and how they're going to approach things. They are violent by design, and they want the world to know it.
The mind control of Eric Young. He claims that the business is sick. Notice, not the sport, the business. And these men are the vaccine. They will inoculate the industry until the sickness is eradicated. D-Lo, for my money, the linchpin here is the big man on the left, Joe Doring. And as this match goes on, we will begin to talk about how important Joe is. But before we get there, let's look at these men.
Their opponents first, from Yonkers, New York, Tommy Dreamer.
I don't think there's anyone in sports that has done what Tommy has done for 30 years at such a high level. He's given so much to this sport, and he continues to do it, picking his partners, fighting for what's right. And the man that's about to come out next can certainly learn, and I think he will.
His tag team partner from the Diener compound, Cousin Jake.
D-Lo, how important is family, especially in pro wrestling?
You know, family is incredibly special, and you have to have family here, but when family turns on you, it can drive you absolutely crazy.
Absolutely.
Their tag team partner from Detroit, Michigan, the War Machine, Rhino.
A lot of times when we talk about family in pro wrestling, it isn't so much blood, it's about sharing a locker room, and the history between Rhino and Tommy Dreamer is long. The ECW locker room helped change this sport, and now change is coming again, but it's not lost on me what Rhino and Tommy Dreamer mean, and the fact that they're here tonight in this match is incredibly important, D-Lo.
Yeah, without a doubt, Rhino and Tommy Dreamer are family, not by blood, like you said. They are chosen family. They choose to be together and represent who they are.
Look at this. It looks like Jake and Diener are squaring off. Doring and Tommy, and here we go. And look at what EY did. Before Jake could get his hands on Diener, EY cut across and nailed Jake, and here we go. D-Lo, old school rules, no disqualifications, no countouts. I believe it's just anything goes.
It literally just buckle up, go for a ride, see what happens. It's old school rules.
here we are, Joe Doring, for my money, the best kept secret in wrestling. A former Triple Crown champion, nearly 2 decades of kicking ass all over Japan, and now he's here in Impact. Now, talk about Diener. Talk about this transformation, D'Lo.
It is hard to even comprehend what Diener has gone through. It seems like Eric Young has oh, close on over the top. Wow.
And now, if we can get back to the ring, I believe the moment that Jake has waited for.
Look at this. Here it is. The moment I've waited for.
We've seen Diener slap Jake before. Will Jake finally do something? Here we go, and you have to believe that the venom and the ire inside of Cousin Jake is going to boil over. Diener realizes it, and he scoots out the way. Ladies and gentlemen, just getting a note that Hard to Kill is about to crack the top 10 in trending topics worldwide. We thank you so much. Keep it going, hashtag Hard to Kill.
Look at this. Full disclosure, I got to tell you, I have spent time in the ring in Japan with Joe Doring, and I've never been hit so hard in my entire life. This man, Joe Doring, is one great professional wrestler. And yes, you said earlier, one of the best kept secrets, but now the world's about to find out exactly who he is and what he's about.
Love our tri-screen there. Kudos to everyone in the truck giving us all the action. It's not easy to follow here, but this story here between Cousin Jake and Diener, that is definitely something. But there on the bottom right-hand side of your screen, Tommy Dreamer and Eric Young. This, to me, is a story that needs to be told. Tommy Dreamer, we mentioned 30 years of service. Eric Young, over 20 years of service. Half of his life, 25 titles. Eric Young hates the fact that everyone loves Tommy Dreamer and no one ever gives EY the credit.
Yes, without a doubt, and there's a shade of jealousy there, but you got to remember, Tommy Dreamer is what we call in this business the heartbeat.
Yes.
He's the heartbeat of every locker room he's ever been in. He is what you represent to the company, the business, and the boys. And yes, Eric is a little jealous of that because he doesn't get that same respect. Man, the action is everywhere. I can't keep track of any of this.
Just make sure that none of it comes flying over here. There's Eric Young and Cousin Jake, Diener and Tommy Dreamer. You know, one thing about Tommy Dreamer, no one loves pro wrestling more than him. Look, in the last 5 years, we've lost like Roddy Piper and Dusty Rhodes and Brody Lee and Tracy Smothers and Hannah Kimura and Pat. The list goes on. Tommy's always out there on social media with a picture or a video saying celebrate their life.
Absolutely.
That's who Tommy Dreamer is to this sport.
Because Tommy celebrates the boys and the business, and he celebrates the companies, and he's wants to be part of everything, and yes, he pays respect to everyone who's come before him.
And honestly, D'Lo, for me, those names and more, we will never forget you for what you have given to our sport. Without you, we wouldn't have things like Hard to Kill. We wouldn't have things like Impact Plus. It's just a new way to watch. But no matter how you watch it, that right there resonates. Tommy Dreamer, cutter, out of nowhere, polka dot pants go flying, the homage to Dusty Rhodes. And now where is Dreamer going as the referee checks on Eric Young?
And as I look up, I got a big man walking in front of me, and that's scary.
Absolutely, that big man is Joe Doring, and that big man there is Cousin Jake. Tommy Dreamer gets a chair from underneath the ring. It always surprises me, the things underneath the wrestling.
Why is all that stuff under the ring?
Oh, look at this, look at this. Tommy has never backed down. Tommy has gone to war with guys like Mike Awesome, rest his soul. He's gone to war with big men before, but Tommy lets Rhino come in.
Chairs.
25 plus years of Rhino, 30 years of Tommy Dreamer.
And in comes Cousin Jake, all wheels and chairs.
Look at Joe, though. 3 guys with chairs, and Joe still wants a fight.
He doesn't care. Oh!
Joe Doring has not left his feet. 1 knee down. It's like Gulliver's Travels. Back of Joe Doring, hardened from the mats of All Japan Wrestling. His soul hardened from a lifetime in the sport. Kicks away Rhino. Punches away Jake, and now grabs Tommy Dreamer. Takes a bite out of history. Joe Doring on the move now. Boom! Erases Tommy Dreamer. How many people make Dreamer look small in a match?
You know, that's a hard thing to do, but when you're 6'7", you're 300. Look at that.
Yeah, that's why Eric Young is down. That's why Joe Doring was left to fend for himself as Tommy Dreamer's cutter dispels the leader. But now look at the picture. Violent by Design is united and back again. Our heroes are down, and our villains are standing tall.
And do you hear that? Eric Young always says this world doesn't belong to you, it belongs to us. He truly believes he is the cure to this disease that is the business of pro wrestling?
You're the perfect person to ask. You've seen this sport over 3 decades. Is the sport sick? Is the business sick? It's 2 entirely different thoughts.
No, the business is not sick. But in Eric's delusional mind, he is seeing sickness. He thinks he's bringing a cure to something that is not diseased at all.
Joe Doring now taking Tommy Dreamer to task. Eric Young with a chair to the gigantic back of Rhino.
And look at there, Eric Young just orchestrating everything, putting people in positions. Cousin Jake up on the second rope, on the top rope. He's fighting back.
Oof. Joe Doring is easily 300 pounds standing on Tommy's face.
Ooh, and that's just family punching family.
They say we hurt the ones we love the most.
Oh!
Hair Beal onto 2 steel chairs that did not even move. What moved were the internal organs of Cousin Jake.
What moved was his spine. It like twisted and snapped. That is just the level of pain that must have gone through Jake's body right then. It's just incomprehensible.
Breaking down the ladder that is their DNA, the Deaners, Diener and Jake.
Shit,
on in the
wow!
Look at that. Joe and Eric took their eyes off of their opponent, and Cousin Jake made them pay. And inside the ring, Tommy Dreamer is alone with Diener.
That was like a 747 on a crash dive. Wow.
Diener ascending. Tommy Dreamer stirring, smart enough to cut Diener off. Tommy still can't get to his feet, though. But Cousin Jake can.
Strong blow from Cousin Jake. What's going on here? What is he thinking?
Looks like he's going for a superplex. You can see Diener's holding onto the top rope, and Joe Doring.
He said no.
Dreamer got caught.
Dreamer was in the wrong place at the wrong time and caught just a foot to the face.
How about Joe Doring being able to take out Cousin Jake and inadvertently Tommy Dreamer? And now that leaves Rhino and Joe Doring. Now Rhino has a background in Germany and catch wrestling. If anyone could stand with Joe Doring, it may have been Rhino.
My goodness, and you see that Rhino came with those kendo sticks and was just going blows on Joe Doring. He said the hell with that and broke the kendo stick.
Of course, Joe Doring is a man that dominates, standing alone in the middle of the ring. Come and get me if you can, he seems to say.
See, in this business, we call a guy like Joe Doring the heater.
Absolutely.
He's the guy who inflicts the pain.
Oh! But he is still human, and flesh will never budge against steel.
No, steel's always going to win that battle.
You can see over Joe Doring's shoulder, Tommy Dreamer still stirring. Referee checking on Dreamer. This 6-man tag team match, old school rules, setting the stage for our huge 6-man main event as Tommy Dreamer begins to decorate the ring.
Oh my, see, here's the one thing. Oof. I don't like tax. I'm gonna put it out there, full disclosure, I don't like it.
Oh, now Tommy with the dusty jabs.
He's flip-flopping and flying.
To his heroes. He came out with the headband for Terry Funk. This is what Tommy Dreamer's about. Wrestling lives forever within Tommy Dreamer.
Now Eric Young is going to try to change that. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Back oh my goodness! Tacks flew everywhere. They're in the back of Eric Young.
Look at that. Joe Doring just clean.
Oh my
Rhino!
Gore! Gore!
Rhino needs to turn around as Diener comes from behind.
Diener DDT.
And now it's Diener that stands tall, but as you saw, Cousin Jake slid in. Diener on the move now. Ropes from momentum.
Oh my goodness!
Slam!
Cover him! Cover him!
Is this it? Referee is down and no! Young made the save with the mask. It's all legal here. Eric Young taking stolen valor from Cousin Jake.
Wow. Here are your winners, Violent by Design.
You can see Eric Young say something to the referee, and I'm sure it was derogatory, but Eric Young is hurting right now. The entire Violent by Design team are hurting right now, but the victory will help to soothe the wounds. Joe Doring, the only man standing and now the leader. Eric Young pulls himself up. Referee will raise their hands as this group is victorious. D'Lo, take a look and walk us through the replay there.
Like right here, you see the back body drop into the tax. That is painful, followed by the clothesline from hell. And then here it is, pile driver by EY. And it's good night, Irene, right there, your 1, 2, 3 winners, Violent by Design.
Ladies and gentlemen, what an amazing night. Hard to Kill will certainly never let you down. The industry is changing, the sport is changing, and we're happy that you're a part of it right here on Impact Wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be great. Again, as we hold on the shot of Violent by Design, our social media is fluttering.
We might been giving moves, but you know what? We're gonna go out there, we're gonna take it to the club. We're gonna go out there, we're gonna kick their ass. Just like I said, we go, you know what, man? Right. I'm just fluffy.
Just take all this
right
frustration
now.
And focus.
Yeah.
Debates.
What you doing in here?
We're a team.
We're a team? We're a team?
Yeah.
You expect me to trust you after everything you did throughout the past couple weeks? You expect me to trust you? Let me tell you something, Moose. Once we found out that Alex Shelley couldn't make this match, you want to know who would have been right here by our side? Willie Mack. But you took him out. And you expect me to let you be with us? Huh?
Rich, calm down.
Calm down?
I had to do what I had to do to Willie, but that's beside the point. Let me tell you guys something about me. Both of you by now know my past. And I've won a lot of football games with guys I did not like. Hell, some of those guys I despise, but when that whistle blew, I would die for them. And one thing I'm not going to do is let an outsider come to my company and disrespect it. Sabin, you've been here from the very beginning. Rich, you're the Impact World Champion, and I'm Mr. Impact Wrestling. And Rich, last week, you said it best. We're gonna kick their ass all night long.
We gonna do that? That's what we gonna do? That's what we gonna do. You know what?
Do it.
What we gonna do? You better bring what you talking, boy. Because I know you moves. I ain't playing no games.
Impact Wrestling is bringing back the Knockouts Tag Team titles in January, live on pay-per-view at Hard to Kill. So Alicia and Tenille coming together, they're gonna take on an established team in Havoc and Nevaeh. Looking to go for that wheelbarrow, and this time they had it scouted. There's a cover, and there's a victory, and Havoc and Nevaeh are moving on.
Tasha, Kiera, we're gonna shut you up once and for all.
Our second opening round match in the Knockouts Tag Team title tournament, and they may have themselves a victory. Kiera and Tasha are moving on, folks.
Going down is we gonna walk into Hard to Kill. We gonna step in that ring. We gonna do our dance, and we gonna win them titles.
Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steeles defeated the Sea Stars. They now face the team of Taya and Rosemary. Kiera Hogan connects, locks the hands, and Kiera and Tasha are going to the finals.
Trust me when I tell you that the team of Havoc and Nevaeh will be walking out of Hard to Kill your new Knockout Tag Team Champions.
And the powerhouse Havoc looking for a tombstone pile driver in the center of the ring. And Havoc and Nevaeh will be Hard to Kill on the 16th.
We gonna take them titles and be like, we won right at the top where we belong, ain't that right? And that's on what? Period, fool.
Who will become the new Knockouts Tag Team champions, it'll be Havoc and Nevaeh versus Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steele.
These two teams couldn't be any more opposite. Their styles are opposite, the appearance is opposite, but their goal is the same, to become Knockouts Tag Team Champions. And D'Lo, I'm a big fan of tournament wrestling, and now this is what it's all about right here. I want to thank Zebro for these championship belts. Now, growing up, I was a big belt mark.
Yes, I
used to love the old national tag team titles, or the national title Tommy Rich wore, and boxing the WBC title. These are fantastic.
Look at these beautiful championships. This is the prize that these young ladies are fighting for, and in just a short while, we're going to have brand new Knockouts Tag Team Champions.
All right,
Incredible.
that time is upon us. Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hard to Kill continues with the following match to crown the new Knockouts Tag Team Champions. It is scheduled for one fall, introducing team number 1, Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steele's Fire and Flavor.
Say it with me one time.
Yeah.
Say it with me.
Fire.
Fire and Flavor.
Flavor.
Come on. Again, Flavor.
So no OR, huh?
No. Oh, yeah. You got to get in there. Look at these young ladies.
Yes, and that is exactly what they are, young ladies.
They are charismatic. They are beautiful. But they are hard-hitting women.
Hey, take a look. You know, it's a big night when Brian Hebner returns from the legendary Hebner family. We're all wrestling family here, so welcome back, Brian. Welcome home. You're going to have your hands full in this one, my man.
What a way to come back.
All right, Knockouts Tag Team titles on the line. Let's meet the next team.
Their opponents from Defiance, Havoc and Nevaeh.
Now, D'Lo, for me, Havoc and Nevaeh are like the Doc and Gordy of the Knockouts division. Remember, intense, hard-hitting. And I think that's a very interesting force that they bring to the tournament finals.
Great analogy there. Yes, they are that hard-hitting strength team. They will use their size to their advantage. They will use their power advantage. To me, they're the odds-on favorite to win these championships tonight.
Yes, I'm also enraptured with both of them as well. It's almost something eerily beautiful. It's almost like watching a hurricane from the safety of your own bedroom, you know?
It's something, it draws you in. You know it's dangerous. You know it's going to hurt you, but you still are just enjoying what you're seeing.
Kiera and Tasha are very chatty, so a lot of the natural sounds will play out here. And here we go. Smart strategy there. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think you get right on them and you set the tone.
Brian Hebner's going to have to sort things out here. We need to get two wrestlers in the ring. It looks like it's going to be Nevaeh and Tasha. Now, D'Lo, again, from the athletic perspective, just looking at the pictures on the screen, it's going to look like Havoc and Nevaeh are going to enjoy a power advantage, and Fire and Flavor will have a speed advantage.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, you definitely nailed it around the head. Fire and Flavor are the quicker, more athletic of the team. But Nevaeh and Havoc bring that strength. They bring that hard-hitting action.
Bam. Tag made now, and here comes Kiera Hogan. And if you think Tasha has spunk, wait till you get a load of Kiera Hogan. Well, let's take nothing away from Havoc and Nevaeh. Both of them, 17 years of service to the sport, collected so many championships. Perhaps the Knockouts tag title is next. No.
You see the intensity of that sliding clothesline there? That was just... They're bringing it tonight. You can see it's a championship feel. It's a big fight feel right now.
Let me ask something, D'Lo. Is there anything to where an athlete is raised, how they grow up, that informs their in-ring abilities?
I think like if you grew up in a blue-collar town, you work hard.
Is it enough? Go ahead.
Sometimes you grow up on the West Coast, you're a little more flashy. So yeah, I think there's something to where you come from and your wrestling style.
It's gonna have the pride or perhaps the shame of Defiance, Ohio. Kick to the back of the head, otherwise known as an enziguri, and now Havoc. Oh gosh, boot scrape, boot scrape. It's wise here. They've isolated Fire and Flavor, and now Havoc is taking full advantage.
Havoc is just inflicting pain slow and tortuously on. Oh, big leg drop miss though.
Might be enough now. Fire and Flavor are going to need to change the speed of this match, I think. I think they need to up the pace here because Havoc and Nevaeh excel when things are at a slower pace. Yes. Referee's back was turned. Good double team. Cover here. No.
Yeah, without a doubt, Fire and Flavor need to up the tempo and bring the game to where they need it and try to make Nevaeh and Havoc work their game.
Little thing there, Kiera Hogan went around Havoc and blocked the position between Havoc and Nevaeh. That's smart tag team wrestling.
That's called being a ring general, knowing where you are in the ring at all times. Making it your opponent have to go the longest and most difficult route to get back to their partner.
Yeah, like Floyd Mayweather there. Oh! Is this enough? Leg is hooked. Nevaeh creep in, understands that as the match wears on, do you agree that it favors Fire and Flavor?
You know, it's hard for me to, I would say that as the match wears on, it would give Havoc and Nevaeh more time to inflict damage. I think Fire and Flavor want this match over quickly.
Interesting insight. That's why you are the man right now. Tasha Steelz. Talking a little trash, moving in now, trying to bring Havoc down. Havoc now fighting out. How smart is Havoc? She waits. She didn't make a move there. She waited for her opponent.
Well, and that's just, she's conserving energy, no wasted motion.
There was a tag made there.
There was a tag.
Here, momentum. Nicely done.
But see, you gotta be, the longest, like you gotta be careful of this. There's a cover.
But that right there, to me, I'm not going to say it's a rookie mistake, but it could be because Kiera and Tasha, they're very passionate, I guess is the word I want to use. And Kiera started to jaw with Nevaeh. It forced referee Brian Hebner to take his focus off of the cover. We could have had the end of the match there.
Yes, that to me is a tactical error. I don't think that will bother them in the long run.
You can see there's anger in Tasha Steelz' eyes.
What is going on here?
Nice, taking the back. Taking the back is Tasha Steelz. Havoc now is beginning to fade. Her mouth is wide open, and Havoc does what she needs to do. Havoc now needs to make a tag. Tasha realizes that tag not made, and back to the action between Tasha and Havoc. Havoc needs to make a tag here. Back elbow, stuns Havoc.
Kiera attempted to cross body, but got caught.
Havoc still strong.
Oh my goodness!
Wow! And now the momentum shifts. Whomever rises to their feet first is one step closer to becoming Knockouts Tag Team Champions.
I can't believe what I just saw there. I mean, Havoc just caught two women and just held her in the air.
Just a vulgar display of power from Havoc as Nevaeh has her hand stretched out.
There's a tag
made, and now Nevaeh is in, and look at the venom in her eyes.
And Nevaeh comes in like a house of fire. She wants these Knockout Tag Team Championships.
Nevaeh commanding the middle of the ring. That's that Heartland wrestling training, that old Les Thatcher way.
Wow! Les Thatcher, what a blast from the past.
I think it's important to talk about who trains these athletes. It informs what they're going to do in the ring. It's tandem offense here. Nicely done by Nevaeh. Forces Tasha to DDT Kiera. Cover!
That was a 2-for-1 there.
And now you were talking about it, social media is buzzing, the strength of Havoc here. The hashtag Havoc is starting to trend now as well, HAVOK. Look at that. Back to live action now here, Nevaeh perched up high. Kiera with a kick to the back. Ooh, hard shot. And now Fire and Flavor working together, and it's something that they need to do, but they took too long.
Oh my goodness.
Because here comes Jessica Havoc.
What the hell are we seeing here?
What we are seeing is perhaps the most powerful woman in our sport, talking about Havoc. She has single-handedly changed the momentum of this match, not once, but twice. And now Nevaeh, the cerebral thinker, will try to take advantage here.
And here it is. Oh!
Is that enough?
Cover.
Oh, Oh, smart. Kira was able to roll out of the way. Perhaps instinct, perhaps skill. We may never know, because it looks like Tasha may suffer the same fate. No, back into the corner. Tasha realized if she got hit with that, there would be no end. And just as I say that, the end walks in. Havoc. The story here for me has been the strength of Havoc. We have so many instances in this match where she has just been dominant, absolutely game-changing.
Just shifting momentum in a heartbeat with a display of strength.
Kicking of the legs changes the weight distribution. Only reason Kira was able to get out of there. Oh, that caught Havoc, I think, on the cheekbone. Momentum!
Oh, wow, a jumping neck breaker.
Is this it? 2, no! Havoc finally taken off of her feet.
Nevaeh had to make that save because I totally believe that was going to be the 1, 2, 3.
Smart. We talked about how Nevaeh is the thinking women's wrestler. That right there evident. Havoc now stirring but keeping eyes on her partner. That's why these two have nearly 20 years of experience. They've held countless tag team titles. Perhaps the Knockouts titles are next.
Well, they're loading up for some kind of double team here. Whoa.
Yep, smart there by Tasha to take advantage, to realize opportunity waits for no one.
Stunner!
Stuff kick. Havoc looks for reprieve on the outside. And while I have this moment, I just quickly personally want to thank Madison Rayne for her many years of service, for her dozen titles, one of the top 5 in the world. Thank you so much for what you've done for this division. Here is your work for you to see.
Ooh. I totally second that. Madison Rayne has been nothing but the epitome of class.
Here it is. Is this it? They got it!
Knockout champions, new Knockouts Tag Team champions.
Here are your winners and new Knockout Tag Team champions, Fire and Flavor.
I think it's so appropriate that as we were singing the praises of those that have come before us, we now stand here for the future of the Knockouts. To every knockout that has ever walked through these doors, we thank them, and now it is time for Fire and Flavor, and look at that. There is Madison Rayne, I do believe.
That's Gail Kim.
That is Gail, in gold nonetheless.
And they had the championship belts with them.
This is perfect. This is an amazing historical moment. Let's let this moment play out. Congratulations, Fire and Flavor. The hard work and the trail blazed by those before us will not go unrewarded. What a moment, what a picture. D'Lo Brown, your thoughts?
Strike, I have just 2 words. Pure class. That was pure class. That's a passing of the torch. That is the Knockouts of the past, handing it off to the Knockouts of the future. Congratulations, ladies, and I believe the Knockouts are in great hands.
Oh, there'll be no rest for the weary. I'm sure plenty of teams will be looking for Fire and Flavor. And speaking of looking, something interesting happened earlier with Taya and a few other people.
Oh, hello. Hi. Look, we told you we'd figure something out about our little Dashwood problem, didn't we? Mm-hmm. And now the Shadow has sent our brother with us to help you tonight.
Well, here's the thing, Rosemary, Crazy Steve. I know you guys have all the greatest intentions, but I know I can defeat Deonna Purrazzo. I know that I can become a 2-time Knockouts champion.
Your abilities are not in question here, Valkyrie. It's the little cronies she'll have at ringside that could use a little decay.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, just promise me one thing. After I win, let's celebrate in Slamtown.
You need to see Slamtown.
So good.
Okay.
D'Lo,
what was AC Romero doing?
What would happen if someone snuck into the Knockouts locker room when you were in the locker room?
They'd have got their wig split.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's all about championships here tonight as we make history in Impact Wrestling. And I think the X Division title is one that a lot of people can say has helped to change and revolutionize the sport. The best athletes in the world are in the X Division.
Absolutely. It's one of the most unique championships, and it's right here in Impact Wrestling. And those who compete for it, those who go after it, are some of the best athletes.
Right, I'm sorry, I don't have this on our format here.
This is not on our run.
All right, this is on schedule.
There was going to be such a big show without Ace Austin, did you? No, absolutely not. Now, since my interview on the Countdown panel earlier got cut a little short, I'm going to say what's on my mind now. You mean to tell me that the best use of Ace Austin's time on a night like this is to sit on a Countdown panel and talk about a Josh Alexander match? You know, there's a reason that match was on the Countdown show, okay? That's not what we're talking about. 1 week ago, I went through 3 other men to become the 2021 Super X Cup champion. And now tonight, I'm gonna go through 3 more men to become the X Division champion once again. Scott D'Amore, make it happen. I'm the #1 contender and you can't tell me otherwise. Look at this cup right here. Tell me I'm not the #1 contender. Huh? Come on. Where's Scott? Where's Scott? Does he have music? Hit his music if he does. Come on. There he is. There he is. Let's get this show on the road.
Look, Ace, I'll be honest, I appreciate your passion. I do. And last Saturday, I walked down this ramp, got right in the ring, and shook your hand when you won the Super X Cup. Because you're good, you're damn good. And look, the way you're going about this isn't right. This isn't the way. You should have came to my office, you should have knocked on the door, you should have tried to talk to me. But you bypassed, you know, you're young, you're excited, you're eager. I get that. And I'll acknowledge you've raised some good points. You're a great athlete, you're a star here in Impact Wrestling, and the Hard to Kill pay-per-view needs an Ace Austin match. But the fact is, it's not going to be the X Division title match. That boat sailed. But look, I see you're here, see you're all geared up, and I see you're ready. So for you right now, I got a special opponent, and he's always ready.
Holy
what the hell?
This is a mark out moment, and I'm marking out, bro. That is Matt Cardona. Anything can happen.
What is he doing here? This is amazing.
Ace Austin came out and said that this show needs to have more Ace Austin. Scott D'Amore then replied and said, this man is always ready. Matt Cardona stands high above an Impact Wrestling ring, but Matt Cardona has never, ever wrestled anyone like Ace Austin.
No, without a doubt, Ace Austin is one of the most unique athletes this business has ever seen. But Matt Cardona, this man is a star.
Ace Austin, also a star, one of the top 100 wrestlers in the world today. The 2021 X Cup coming, an X Division star, match of the year, an X Division champion, and here we go.
And Matt goes right at it. Hasn't taken a ring jacket off, and is going right into the action.
You know, one thing about Matt Cardona, I've said this, without guys like Matt Cardona and Colt Cabana, I don't think there'd be guys selling t-shirts and doing podcasts and YouTube shows and supplementing their income. Matt Cardona went into business for himself and made a career out of it.
Oh! And right there, the athleticism of Ace Austin.
Just as that said, Matt Cardona comes out and pops the internet. Hard to Kill has been trending all night long.
Oh! No, Ace, come on. That neck breaker had more intensity, not only because it was on the floor, but it just had a snap on it.
Madman Fulton able to save Ace Austin. To me, Madman Fulton is a diamond in the rough just waiting to explode.
Yeah, without a doubt, he is going to be the future of Impact Wrestling. He just needs a little more time. And hanging on a guy like Ace Austin, he will learn quickly how to be an Impact player.
Separate shoulder there, Matt. Get up to a vertical base. Taller than his opponent is Matt Cardona, but Ace Austin never let that bother him. No. This is now an intense young man, and I happen to love the HBK glasses that he was wearing.
Yeah, he's throwing what the hell?
back of the head of Cardona bounces off the Impact Wrestling canvas. This is Hard to Kill. History being made, one of the most important nights in our sport. The sport is professional wrestling, and the very best in the world are here. Ace Austin, cover. Is this enough? No.
Well, you see, there was the young arrogance, holding that #1 finger up in the air, not completely locking in the cover. That's that young arrogance there.
There's that veteran wherewithal of Cardona rolling in away from his flying opponent. Look at all the distance now. Let's see who can make up the distance. Cardona poised, moves in, waits, catches Ace with a flapjack.
Clothesline in the corner with viciousness.
Here we go. Used to be called a broski boot, now it's a reboot. Cardona waiting, his timing, some of the best. And what is Fulton doing? Fulton is saving this match for Ace Austin. Wow. History of concussions for Cardona.
Fulton is intense.
Well, I think Fulton has a lot of pent-up rage as well. He and Ace Austin feel disrespected not being a part of this night. Well, now they are.
Fulton definitely making his presence felt.
Nice. You don't realize how long and tall Matt Cardona is until you see him do stuff like that to Fulton. I do believe it's a disqualification, and I believe that Matt Cardona is victorious in his first match ever here in Impact. What an amazing night already. We are breaking the internet, surprises galore. Yes, folks, Matt Cardona is here at Impact. If for one night only or for the future, that remains to be seen. But what we do know for sure is our main event tonight is certainly something that a lot of people are looking forward to, as is the X Division triple threat match, because there's so many unanswered questions. And for my money, these guys are the best athletes in all the world. D'Lo, closing thoughts?
What a debut for Matt Cardona, and I can't believe it. He's in Impact Wrestling.
Is the final Defeat Rohit Challenge of 2020, and it's open to anyone except you, TJP.
There's a cover in Manic's X Division champion. So Manic is X Division champion.
And Hard to Kill, guess what? I get my rematch for my X Division championship belt. What are you doing? If you take Manic, pull that stupid mask off, and prove to the world that's TJP, I'm certain they're just gonna hand you back the title. I just need to unmask him and feel that it's TJ, and then boom, the belt comes right back to me. I'm on my way to wrestle Manic. So maybe you can come with me.
Rohit believes that under the mask of Manic lies TJP. Oh, and there's a low blow by Chris Bay. Rohit's inside the ring. Rohit was gonna go for the mask. He's caught red-handed. Chris Bay and Rohit. Well, Bay disrespecting Rohit. Rohit with a cheap shot. Chris Bay finesses himself a victory here tonight over Manic.
Appreciate you. Whoa. Hey, Rohit, what's going on? What were you doing in there? Oh, what you mean what I was doing in there? I was having a conversation after my victory against Manic. Thanks for the assist, by the way. Now, it's like your match at Hard to Kill, the X Division Championship, has been finessed into a triple threat.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is all about the man in the middle. He is the X Division champion. The man on the left, he is bold and brash. The man on the right is obsessed. Triple threat rules never benefit the champion, D'Lo Brown. This one's going to be interesting.
Yeah, there's no championship advantage here, and it's triple threat rules with some of the best high flyers and hard hitters in this industry. I am so looking forward to this match.
All right, well, good things come to those who wait. We're ready, so let's kick it off.
The next contest is a three-way X Division Championship match, scheduled for one fall. Introducing challenger number 1 from the Bay Area AVA, the ultimate finesser, Chris Bay.
This young man is confident, braggadocious, but you know what one thing is good about him? He's a damn good professional wrestler.
Absolutely, not even 25 years old, just under 5 years as a pro, recently coming off a great performance in the New Japan Pro Wrestling Super J Cup, defeating Clark Connors on his way to the semifinals, but now the focus is on the X Division title for Chris Bay.
Challenger number 2 is from Hyderabad, India, the Desi Hitman, Rohit Raju.
It has been quite a career for Rohit Raju. He has earned nearly a dozen titles, but none more important than the X Division Championship. He lost that title to Manik at Final Resolution, and now he has been obsessed with what is under the mask of Manik, as the world knows and Rohit believes that it is TJP.
No, I'm not sure if it's TJP or just one of his friends that happens to have similar tattoos and stand the exact way and wrestle the exact same way.
But that's the thing, no one wrestles like TJP. He's so unique, he's so good. If Manik wrestles like TJP, then Manik has to be TJP.
How do you know Manik's not a mimic?
Fair enough. Ladies and gentlemen, Rohit Raju is poised, as is Chris Bay. Now let's meet the champion.
Their opponent, he is the defending X Division champion, Manik.
D'Lo, for my money, this is one of the most entertaining wrestlers to watch. Just as an athlete, the things that he thinks of just amaze me, and that's why I love our sport.
Yeah, he's tremendously technically sound. He can manipulate body parts in ways that I've seen very few do. He can fly when he has to, and he can ground and pound. Manik is an all-around great wrestler, and he's exactly what the X Division needs as their champion.
There you see the title held up high. Triple threat rules. Champion does not need to be pinned to lose the title. I'm sure that is weighing on the minds of all three of these athletes as we are set for yet another championship match on a night that will make history. Hard to kill. All right, one fall to a finish. As we mentioned, the triple threat rules. We're going to see a lot of the wrestlers trying to get rid of one, trying to keep the numbers even.
Well, there's no advantage when you're fighting off 2 against 1. So you try to eliminate one out of the equation so you can have a one-on-one encounter, which is more than likely a way where you can get a pin.
The clothesline does Manik, drop down designed to trick the opponent. Manik doesn't fall for it. Waistlock, go behind, switch direction. Rohit now finds himself on his back, and Bay finds Manik, and Manik right back up, almost as if the mat was made of lava. These three men are giving you everything and more for the X Division title.
Right there, standoff in the first 10 seconds of this match.
What I like about Chris Bay is I think he represents the future. We saw Tommy Dreamer and Rhino, and they are, I don't want to say the old guard, but they are that past guard. Sami Callihan, Eddie Edwards, they are the now. I think Chris Bay is the future of our sport, D'Lo.
Without a doubt. Bay.
Oh, nicely done.
What innovative offense. He drop kicked and sent. Look at
cover. Is it enough? Is it enough for the cocky young man who has a lot of training over at the Future Stars Wrestling Academy in Las Vegas, Nevada? And as a trainer yourself, what do you see in Chris Bay that tells you how good this young man is?
Just natural talent. You can see it. Full disclosure, I've seen Chris Bay his entire career coming up, training, and I've seen this man just flourish and grow.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, of course, go to shopimpact.com. The Micro Brawlers are available Monday. I'm pretty sure by Monday night they will be sold out. Rohit Raju, on the other hand, may be X Division champion. D'Lo, do you think they'll make a Micro Brawler out of you?
I don't know. I hope so, but I got one right here, Eddie Edwards. It's pretty damn cool. I'm going to take this home. I got a classic Legend Abyss that I just stuck in my pocket right now. It's going home with me.
Admitting to crime on
Hey,
the air.
bro, it's okay.
I guess in this day and age, evidence really doesn't matter anyway. So back to the action in the ring.
Big right hand by Bay now, extending of the arms, trying to whip Rohit in. Rohit changes his weight and changes the momentum. Flying forearm now, Bay trying to send into Manik. Bandera up and over onto the apron. Manik steps out. Rohit knocks Bay off the apron. The distance between Manik and Rohit will be filled by Manik. Nice.
Oh, great counter. Cover. Is this it? No, out of the tilt-a-whirl head scissors, Rohit was able to shift his weight. Now, D'Lo, for years, when masked wrestlers come on the scene, announcers talk about how hard it is to breathe. And I think now more than ever, all of us can understand what masked wrestlers are going through.
Yes.
I see people walk out of a store, supermarket, they rip their mask off. They suck in the air. Now, of course, Manik's mouth is exposed, but his nose is covered. It makes it very difficult, and I think it's something now we can all kind of...
We can all get it because we're all used to wearing masks now, but imagine wrestling 20 minutes in a hot building and doing that with someone else beating on you and still trying to breathe. It is a very difficult prospect.
Bay dispatches Rohit Raju and now enters the fray as Manik backs up and uses the ropes for momentum and support. All three fighters back in the ring, and Rohit attacks Manik. Now that right there is a TJP staple.
How do you know?
Because I've watched TJP matches my entire life.
But someone else could have learned the same thing.
Listen, I used to try to copy TJP's moves.
You can't do it. It's just impossible. Oh, look at going for a double leg Nelson there. No, kick out. Arms are up. The fingers are locked here. And if we know Chris Bay and Manik / TJP, we know that some good grappling's coming.
You just call him Manik. Don't speculate.
Fair enough.
Don't speculate.
Beautifully done. Modification. Only guys like TJP and Manik pull off moves like this.
That is a modified Texas cloverleaf. It's one of the most incredible things I've ever seen.
Now, trap. So he's going to go for
like a little leg lock there, leg lace.
Buddha leg snap.
Rohit sees it coming, waits. I'm reminded of Ultimo
An octopus hold.
Ray Bucanero, who are able to utilize things like this.
Guys like TJP and Manik, they're students of the game, but look at Rohit.
Why do you keep branching them together and lumping TJP and Manik together? It is Manik.
Fair enough, but it is Rohit now trying to modify a Fujiwara armbar. Manik is able to take out.
As long as Manik can grab a leg, you are in trouble.
Did you notice on that back suplex there, the legs were still locked, so that inflicted damage on Chris Bay's legs.
Here we go now. Manik, the champion, brings himself so smoothly to his feet, assessing the situation. Now Manik on the move. Look at him.
The thing about Manik is, again, I say this, there is no wasted motion. Everything he does is with intent. Oh, what an elbow from Chris Bay.
Freak out. And now Chris Bay has an opportunity. The ring is all his, but he needs to get one wrestler back in the ring and press his shoulders to the mat for a 3 count. And Bay will attempt to do it any way he knows how. The athleticism and core strength of Chris Bay on display. Rohit Raju taking advantage of what's been presented here.
I was just about to say this is going to end poorly for somebody.
See, we've been singing the praises of Manik and Chris Bay, but at the end of the day, Rohit may be the best fighter in this match. It's still pro wrestling, but Rohit may be the best fighter.
He's the best scrapper of all of them. He's Manik is a technical wrestler. Bay's a high flyer. Rohit is right there in the middle, a combination of both of them.
Here we go, fireman's carry now. Rohit trying to fight out.
Rohit's going for the mask. He's going to prove to the world who is under the mask of Manik.
And if he gets that mask off, he's going to show everybody. I don't know who he's going to show.
Knees to the gutter, smart, because it lowers Manik and it gives Rohit leverage.
Is that mask coming off?
Leverage to pull. There
the mask is off.
There's
the
a
mask
hook
is
there.
off.
Camera guy, if we can get a shot of the face, please.
Get in there, get in there. Cameraman, zoom. Who is it?
We may not know, but again, the resemblance is uncanny. Bang! DDT!
Wow, that's good. What's Manik doing? He's going to the top?
Watch Chris Bay, though.
Oh my God!
Nailed it!
Oh my gosh!
Manik still on his feet. Bay realizes the situation, the intensity, the opportunity.
Cover! Cover the six.
The art of the finesse. Look what Bay went to do. He went to cover the champion, so there'd be no excuses.
Wow.
Chris Bay, look at this. From the Mamba Splash, catches Manic with the cutter, and then went for a double cutter. Art of finesse, and then went to champion's choice. Went to pin the champion. It's hard for me to speak because it's just so darn exciting.
Man, the action here is intense and off the charts. I don't think I've seen a cutter like that in a long time.
He went for a leg sweep, forced his opponent to jump, and then caught him on the way down with a kick. Bay rolls through to create some space net. The flashy, young, and bold Chris Bay trying to become X Division champion.
You can see Chris Bay wants to become a two-time X Division champion. It is all he's working for. He is intent on regaining that title.
Let me ask you, what does the international experience do for Chris Bay? We've been talking about it all night. There's an international flavor here. Our main event is really going to see it. Chris Bay has international experience and exposure now. What does that do for him?
When you travel around the world and you compete in different rings, it gives you more confidence. If you can compete not only just here but abroad, it allows you to gain that confidence, and that's, quite frankly, Frankensteiner.
Ooh! Bay is left to hang out to dry. Manic taking advantage of opportunity now.
Oh, what a... Look,
is it enough? The weight is on the stomach, and Chris Bay is there to break it up. D'Lo, as the night rolls on, we're going to pay attention to how wrestlers cover each other. Covering on the stomach just makes it hard to breathe. Covering on the chest makes it hard to kick out. Which is better?
I both are good. I like covering on the chest because I want them to, even if they're going to kick out, I want them to exert as much energy every time. The more I cover them, the more they get worn down. And eventually, if you do it enough times, they're going to be like, well, that's it, I'm done.
Well, I think the chest protection used to war definitely added some weight.
Kayfabe, brother.
Chris Bay pulling himself to his feet. Manic comes clear across the ring. And look at the athleticism of Manic here.
Whoa. Tombstone?
Oh, Rohit able to stop that. We may never know. And Chris Bay shifted his weight, able to turn it around. Manic kicking his feet as well. It's all about physics, folks. Nice back mule kick from Manic.
Just what?
Oh, you see Bay's leg shaking? That could be nerve damage. Oh, God, look at that.
Oh!
Rohit in. I'm not so sure Rohit didn't do that out of instinct.
Oh, did you
Cover
see
on
that?
the other side. Great job by our referee.
Did you see that? Rohit covered, Manic kicked out, and fell right into a cover on Chris Bay.
Perfect. I always say it. I think that the professional wrestling referee definitely deserves a tip of the cap. You guys are fantastic, and this match here, no different. Brandon Toll doing a heck of a job. We saw Brian Hebner return.
I give Brandon Toll credit on that to keep his eye on the ball and see and notice the pin attempt. What great refereeing right there.
Rohit now trying to bring himself to his feet. Chris Bay trying to bring himself back to reality. Manic trying to hold on to the X Division title.
Look at the intensity in their face. Look at just the intensity in both their faces. You can almost feel this through your television screen. What's going on here?
Manic have in mind, it may not matter as Rohit has a handful of trucks. Chris Bay with a unique way to get away. Untethered is Bay. Springboard. Rohit underneath. A lot of action going on in and out. Yeah, Manic. Spike DDT. Bay is up, but he may be out. Into Roju. Onto the floor. Manic now working through. What does he have in mind here? Crucifix bomb. 2. No.
Oh my goodness. I thought that was it.
It was a Thumbelina crucifix bomb. I don't know any other way to call it or describe it. But if you're telling me that that's not TJP, you're out of your mind. No one wrestles like TJP.
What the hell did you just call that?
I don't even know. TJP, you mentioned no wasted movement.
No, Manic, no wasted movement.
The X Division champion, no wasted movement. Oh! That knee right there! 1, 2! Oh! A great callback to the match that Manic and Rohit had. That slide-by knee, that goodbye from Mumbai was what was the move that really cemented this insanity inside Rohit.
My goodness, you have 3 world-class athletes competing for the X Division title right now, and they're leaving it all on the line.
Look at what Rohit realizes.
What's Rohit gonna do?
You can feel the mood settle here.
Yeah, you feel momentum shifting. You can see the field tilting towards Rohit right now.
Wow, look at the athleticism of Matt. Oh! Look at the resiliency of Rohit.
Big kick from Bay.
Temerity of Chris Bay. There's just so much. There aren't enough adjectives to describe these three.
You know the best adjective? Damn good.
There you go.
That's
ooh. And now hung up in the tree of woe is Chris Bay, and this does not bode well.
This is not good.
Rohit has made quite the career hurting people. Locking in a submission, a modification on the Regal stretch here. Is this going to be enough? You can see a little bit of daylight between the wrists of Rohit and the face of Manik, and that may be the only reason Manik is not tapping as he crawls to the bottom rope, trying to get a reprieve. Smart by Rohit to push off.
Did you see that from Rohit? What
brilliant
technician. Oh my goodness, he knew exactly where he was at.
And Chris Bay understood it as well. My oh my, Rohit has come such a long way from those Desi Hit Squad days.
Yeah, he's enjoying a renaissance of his career, and when he's got on his own, he is blossoming into a
inside cradle, small package. No, Rohit couldn't lock his ankles.
Ooh, jumping knee kick.
And there's another slide by knee. Manik, full body weight, he got him!
Oh my goodness! What a match!
Here is your winner and still X-Division champion, Manik!
Rohit was stringing together a combination of moves, and Manik realized that sometimes simple works. He put all his body weight and forced the shoulders of Rohit to the mat, and that picture tells you everything you need to know. Manik is still the X-Division champion, and Rohit is still obsessed.
Look at that, Manik is staring a hole through Rohit, showing you the championship belt, showing Rohit, I am the X-Division champion, and you're not.
Let's take a look at some of this incredible action throughout this match as Manik holds the title high. Again, we talk about how each match informs the next. Huge leaping DDT. That got Chris Bay rattled. Rohit was sent out. And then we saw this unique pinning predicament from Manik. But this was not enough. And then D'Lo, the end was nigh.
And right there, you got the Big Mamba splash right there with the drive-by boot. The good for bye from Mumbai. Big kick out.
Absolutely, and as the frustration built, it was Manik using all of his body weight, a simple maneuver to remain X-Division champion. Call him Manik, call him TJP, but you still have to call him champ, D'Lo.
That's all you can call him. You call him X-Division champ, and you put some stank on that when you talk.
Absolutely, a huge win for TJP and Manik. And ladies and gentlemen, it's all about emotions here tonight. Nothing more important than family, and what we are about to see speaks volumes to that very point.
Eddie, I'm really worried about tonight.
I get it. I get it. I'm worried too.
Okay, but I just can't let you go out there by yourself. Like, I really...
Lish, you can't get involved in this.
I mean, I didn't get myself involved in this. Sammy and Ken got me
So what are you
involved.
gonna do? Are you gonna go out there, you're gonna fight Ken Shamrock? Is that what you're gonna do? You're gonna fight Sammy in a barbed wire match? Is that what you're gonna do? You cannot get involved, Lish. You can't get involved. This, I don't know. I admit, I don't know what's gonna happen to me tonight. I don't know how I'm walking, how I'm getting home. I don't know. But I know that you need to be home. You need to go home. You need to take care of our daughter. You cannot get involved in this match. We cannot risk it. We cannot risk it. You need to promise me. You need to promise me that you will not go out there. We can't risk it. Promise me, Lish.
Okay.
Promise!
Okay, I promise. I promise I will not go out there.
I got this tonight. I do it for us tonight. I have this. I promise you that.
Okay.
I prophesized about this for the last 2 months, that when Jordan Grace stepped in the ring with me, I was playing chess. And the end game was me becoming the Knockouts champion.
Cosa Nostra, Josh, that's it.
Deonna Purrazzo uses Cosa Nostra and defeats Rosemary here tonight.
I've done exactly what I've set out to do since I arrived here, and that's become the greatest tactical women's wrestler in the world.
Taya Valkyrie, a vision in neon green here tonight, the former longest reigning Knockouts champion in Impact Wrestling history.
And quite honestly, I might be on my way to becoming the greatest Knockouts champion in Impact Wrestling history.
Oh, misfire! Deonna Purrazzo just kicked Kimberly, her tag team partner, and Rosemary dropping Kimberly, shoulders down, and Rosemary picks up the win.
I think 2021 should be called the age of the Virtuosa.
Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz, they now face the team of Taya and Rosemary. That's Deonna Purrazzo, the Knockouts champion, and Kimberly. And a flatliner on the stage. Kiera Hogan connects, locks the hands, and Kiera and Tasha are going to the finals. Deonna Purrazzo, the Knockouts champion, cost Rosemary and Taya a chance at tag team titles.
This Saturday at Hard to Kill, it's La Virtuosa versus La Güera Loca for the first time ever, and I am going to become a two-time Knockouts champion.
Now Taya sees what Susan and Deonna Purrazzo have done with Rosemary. They've got her in her clutches, taken down by Kimberly, shoulders down, and Kimberly sends Taya Valkyrie into Hard to Kill with the defeat.
I have all the tricks up my sleeve. All of the cards are in my pocket. Taya, there's nothing you can do to dethrone the Virtuosa at Hard to Kill.
Has the makings of a pure wrestling classic. I've said it before, if you love the fight within the match, this one's gonna be for you. Deonna is poised to move into the future as the very best. Taya may have something to say about it.
This is gonna be the ultimate chess match. I'm enjoying, I can't wait for this. It's gonna be off the chain.
The following contest is for the Impact Wrestling Knockouts Championship. It is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first the challenger, accompanied to the ring by Rosemary and Crazy Steve from Slamtown, Taya Valkyrie.
D'Lo Brown, the sport of professional wrestling has often been likened to physical chess. Will we see a Queen's Gambit or a Sicilian defense? That we don't know, but it is truly the art of manipulating your opponent. Taya, one of the very best. You agree?
Without a doubt, she is a ring general, a tactician in there. This woman is accomplished in her sport and in her game, and on any given day, Taya Valkyrie can take you out.
Perhaps that day or night is today or tonight, but I do believe that Deonna Purrazzo will have something to say about it.
Her opponent, accompanied to the ring by Kimberly and Susan. She is from Hackettstown, New Jersey, the Impact Wrestling Knockouts champion, the Virtuosa, Deonna Purrazzo.
With just under 10 years as a pro, this athlete here has already amassed 14 championships. She is considered one of the very best. Trained under that Rick Rogers tree from the school of Damian Adams, Deonna Purrazzo is the future. D'Lo Brown, your thoughts?
See, Deonna Purrazzo came to Impact Wrestling with a lot of hype, with a lot of fanfare, with a lot of pomp and circumstance, and all she did was back it up every time she stepped in the ring. Yes, Deonna Purrazzo is the future, and the future is bright for Deonna Purrazzo.
Taya Valkyrie, her opponent and challenger, has a dozen years of experience. Trained by the legendary Lance Storm, the longest reigning Knockouts champion. But her story goes deeper than that. Left British Columbia, went down to Mexico, slept on the floor, tried to make it in the sport, toiled in Mexico, finally became almost like an icon, and then broke out here in the States, and here she is. Here we go.
Going right at it, starting like a buzzsaw.
D'Lo, as you know, I always like to harken back to the glory days of wrestling. And when I look at Deonna Purrazzo, the wrestling reminds me of Nick Bockwinkel. Wow, just very seamless and clean.
Yeah, that is one of the great tacticians of this business, and to make that comparison is a nod, a tip of the cap, and quite frankly, a compliment.
Nice double leg there. Taya is certainly going to have the upper body advantage. She's going to be stronger, but it looks to me like Deanna is going to have the lower vertical base advantage.
What is Susan doing?
Oh, gosh. It's Kimberly, who wherever Deanna goes, Kimber is never far behind. Dressed up tonight, did Kimber. There's so many moving parts here. I just want to see them wrestle.
And it's turning into a Donnybrook out here.
What's Susan doing with her phone? The focus here, it should be on Deanna, I'm sorry, on Taya and Deanna.
And it's everywhere right now. Is Susan recording this?
There is an air of confusion in the arena as the Knockouts title match.
What is on? Oh, what? The referee just went down.
Steve isn't in the match. There you go.
There you go, a little law and order. Get control of this, Mr. Spencer.
So Crazy Steve is,
Kimber's out.
So Crazy Steve has been told to go to the back, as has Kimber. And it appears to me that Rosemary as well have been ejected from ringside.
Okay, okay, Karen, you can stop recording now.
Who's Karen?
Susan, sorry.
Fair enough. I'm not sure if we've had a bell to start this matchup here. I would actually prefer for us to reset here because now we get the match that we signed on for. I'm being told there was a bell, so the match is official. Here we go now, D'Lo.
Well, the referee was given great latitude there because given the enormity of this match, I don't think he wanted this to end in disqualification. So he kind of gave it a little latitude to just get it straightened out.
Hard thunderclap. Oh! That's designed to skip a breath on your opponent. Once your opponent's breathing and rhythm is off, everything else comes with it, and Taya knows that. Deanna turned her back, expected Taya to come back. Instead, Taya hold on, slips out onto the apron as Taya. Tried to go low, Deanna had it scouted. Left knee strike hangs Taya Valkyrie out to dry. The middle rope, the only thing holding up the challenger. And now the story is going to be the arm. If you've never seen Deanna Purrazzo wrestle, you have to know that she attacks a body part. In this case, it is the arm. She likes to use the Fujiwara armbar, pressure on the elbow, wrist, and shoulder.
I will tell you this, right now it's the playbook. For as long as this match goes, you're going to see Deanna go directly at the arm. She will not attack anything else. She's going to wear that arm down. She's going to wear that arm down to try to get Taya to submit.
Yeah, you can see a discoloration in Taya's elbow, already bruising and blood starting to pool and form here. Deanna is going to be hyper-focused on the joints. Anyone that studies jiu-jitsu, any kind of combat sports, martial arts, it's controlling the joints. It's like a steering wheel.
It's called joint manipulation, and Deanna is one of the best at it.
When I was in college, joint manipulation was something entirely different.
Whoa!
Back to the action in the ring now. Deanna Purrazzo firmly in control of the left arm of Taya Valkyrie. Also, Taya has a slight height advantage, and the fact that Taya is down now negates that.
Yeah, there's no height advantage when you're laying on the mat.
Taya now forced to go low, using her feet until the blood comes back and the sensation. Left arm forced to use her right arm is Taya. How will that compromise the cover? Smart by Taya, putting her weight on the arm.
But still, very much so. Taya could not wrap that other arm around to make a complete cradle. Yes, she put all her weight on her chest, but still, it was not a complete cover.
Taya moving in now. Trying to figure out a way. You can see right there, she tried to go for the Irish whip, but the stress on the arm was too much. Deanna countered, beautifully done, the roll through off the side rush and leg sweep, and look what Deanna continues to have. And control of the left.
It is body control. You see that through the whole time. Deanna never lost contact with Taya. She held on to her, manipulated that arm to put herself in this position. Now, don't be fooled. This is not just working on the knee. The arm is still trapped.
Look at Taya.
Look at this. And you're right. Look at this. Look at that elbow.
Knee brace on Taya's knee as well. Taya has been in many ring wars. Look at her breathing. That's that old Lex Luger bodybuilding.
Yes.
Kind of breathing.
It's trying to rhythmize yourself and get yourself regulated so you don't get exhausted quickly.
This pace suits Deonna Purrazzo, the Knockouts champion. Breaking down the challenger. Going for a couple.
You can almost see Deonna thinking of what to do next, thinking how she's going to manipulate Taya's arm or leg. Was that a leg stunner?
Systematic dissection, and we've often heard that. Beautifully done. It's a modification on a knee bar, and Taya has to be careful it doesn't turn into a heel hook.
Yes.
We've heard Deonna use this term cosa nostra, which translates to this thing of ours.
Yes.
And I think Deonna believes that this thing, the sport of wrestling, is ours, meaning hers. Yes, exactly.
I agree. I totally believe. She is trying to prove that this is her business, her sport, her division. And she's the leader of the Knockouts division. She wants everyone to know it.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, still to come, Ethan Page versus Karate Man, Sami Callihan, Eddie Edwards, Barbed Wire Massacre, and then our huge main event. Team Impact, 3 men that have helped build this company. Champion Rich Swann, Chris Sabin, and now Moose take on the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega.
That's just...
D'Lo, you know, a lot of traffic is coming to the websites, also shopimpact.com. Seeing a lot of increased traffic here. Of course, new items come all the time. Cover here. I'm wondering, are we going to get a D'Lo Brown t-shirt?
You know, I petitioned the office for it. I might have to. We have to get a color commentary team t-shirt, you know?
The pace of this match is what our sport was born from. When you go all the way back in the day, the Frank Gotches and the Farmer Burnses of the world, and even the Billy Robinsons, if you go, that pace is really conducive to good wrestling.
Yeah, you see, there's no high flying here. There's no up on the top rope here. It is just sound, technical wrestling.
These chops there, you see how Taya hits the rope. She's trained that way in Mexico to put her hand on the middle, prevents you from falling out of the ring. It's a small little thing, but it really matters. Nice takedown there by Taya. Is this enough? Referee in place, checks the shoulders. Good job by the ref.
See Taya still favoring that arm there. And the knee. Yes, you can see there's a lot of punishment that's happened to the arm and the leg. And Taya's really, really feeling it.
You can see Deonna giving up her back. In most combat sports, you don't want to do that. But here in professional wrestling, you do want to do that because if your back is taken, then you end up with your shoulders on the mat. See, Taya, I think, was going for the road to Valhalla, a signature maneuver, but her knee may have buckled under the pressure of Deonna. Double leg Nelson, was that a package pile driver? No, Deonna came through. I'm sorry, Taya.
It looked like Deonna was going for a package pile driver, and Taya did roll through for a drop, one-legged drop kick on the mat.
You know, it shouldn't be lost in the fans that every time a wrestler grabs another wrestler, they don't just stay still. They're moving. They're shifting their weight. They're trying to get out. So a lot of times when the moves come out the way they do, it's a product of the weight distribution. Is there enough weight distribution to keep Deonna down? The answer is no.
Taya is trying to just get blood flow in the entire left side of her body.
What a great hard-fought match we have seen. The story has been Deonna Purrazzo's systematic attack on Taya Valkyrie's left side, her left limbs, her left arm, and her left leg. Taya now is trying to find her place in this match. She's just been chopping meat thus far.
Yes, but it looks like, whoa! Wow! It looks like Taya's trying to get into the mind game of Deonna Purrazzo and put Deonna into this. Oh! That was just a curb stomp.
It may have taken a lot out of Taya, and I think the only thing here is that Deonna can't see that Taya is in pain because of where Deonna's eyes are facing.
It's a modified STF there.
Time-honored submission hold.
And right now, Taya's just wrenching on Deonna's back.
See Taya, if you get a shot of her hand, she has that S grip in there, D'Lo. It's the back of the hand is pushing onto the face and teeth of Deonna.
And that's just added pain. Now your back hurts, and oh, by the way, my face hurts too.
It's making it extremely uncomfortable for the champion as you see the long nails of Deonna Purrazzo. She makes a fist and continues to find a way to the rope.
The champion resilient as ever.
See Deonna pawing at her mouth, residual effect of the hold. Taya cannot
even traverse the length of the ring, D'Lo.
No, that leg is hurting badly. You see it wobbling right there. She can't even put full weight on it without it almost buckling.
Is it blasphemy to suggest that you quit in a match like this?
It's a championship match. Right. You go until that leg falls off. That's what you do.
These two athletes battling it out. Jumping pump kick by Deonna.
Oh.
Taya comes back.
You can see them both are wobbling.
A lot of space, redirection. Taya paused, saw where she was coming from.
Tilt-a-whirl head scissor.
Into the armbar.
The sweat slipped off. Fujiwara armbar. Look at the shoulder.
There it is.
No, roll through. Shoulders are down. Is this the counter? No.
Back to the armbar.
Wow. Great wrestling there from Deonna. Chain wrestling, if you will. Now switching the hold. Wasn't able to get the concession, and now going for a double armbar here.
Oh, she
pressing
this.
the shoulder blades together.
This has got to be it.
Taya Valkyrie, her entire legacy on the line, and she has just said, I quit.
Here is your winner and still Knockouts champion, the virtuosa Deonna Purrazzo.
D'Lo Brown, we asked the question if you quit in a match like this. You said no, it's a championship match. Taya had to think about where she goes from here, the rest of her career. Does she risk career-ending injury, or does she say I quit and acquiesce to the fact that Deonna Purrazzo is the very best in the Knockouts division?
Right there, that was decision made of survival. And I'll tell you, with that victory, Deonna Purrazzo just cemented herself as one of the best knockouts this company has ever seen.
And take nothing away from Taya Valkyrie, her contribution to everything. I understand the pain going through you right now, but understand there are people watching that appreciate what you have given to our sport. There's no shame in losing to that woman right there, Deonna Purrazzo. D'Lo Brown, there's so much going on here at Impact. It's hard to keep track, but I know cameras are everywhere, and I understand a little insight is about to be bestowed upon us. Let's take a look.
Hey, Bravo! Not you again, shut up! Listen, I hear what you're telling people in the locker room. You can't convince them. You're not gonna convince me. Larry D shot me. I know what I smelled. Bravo. You see the hat? Think I'm just wearing it just for fun? I don't know, maybe. Listen, maybe Larry D did shoot you. Yeah, he did. He's been set up. Oh, okay. You're conspiracy 101, right? What proof do you have? You don't have anything. Crazy guy. In case you haven't realized, I've been lurking through the shadows. And guess where I just came from? I don't know where. The Knockouts locker room. And look what I found. The Ring Rust Cologne. Whose bag did you find that in? Well, that's the interesting part.
The way things have been going lately, we haven't really been getting a lot of good news. And guess what? Today, things changed because I have amazing news. Doc Gallows, out of action 4 to 6 weeks. Somebody made sure that Doc Gallows is gonna need a doctor.
Somebody messed up. Somebody wasn't thinking.
We got this, Josh. I promise you we got this. I promise you we got this.
Who is we?
There's the ghost on, and it's gonna be a victory for the machine gun Carl Anderson.
I just feel after we lost the titles, it's just like everything has just started unraveling.
Gosh, I've been looking everywhere for you because I owe you an apology, okay? I know we're not #1 contenders because we lost that final resolution.
You need to get help. We cannot be a team right now.
Even when things get back on path, they just instantly derailed.
That's the Karate Man. That's Ethan Page's alter ego, the Karate Man.
I don't know what's going on anymore.
Gifts in life are wrapped and then unraveled.
Are you even listening to me?
I have been listening to a bitch.
I'm sick of taking advice from you. You know what? I think it's time for Ethan Page to beat the crap out of the Karate Man.
We will do this on my terms.
at Hard to Kill.
Well, stranger things have happened. The Karate Man against Ethan Page. Pay no mind to the fact that they look exactly alike. This is going to be an interesting match on a historic night right here at Hard to Kill. Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you Ethan Page versus the Karate Man. Take a look.
Picked a place, you picked the time. Well, Karate Man, are we gonna do this or what?
Ethan Page, you are weak, you are stupid, and you are ugly. Yes, the Kumite is now.
Karate Man! Is this all you got?
Ethan Page, today is the day you die! Impressive, you mother. What are you waiting for? Hey, Mitch. Hey, J-Bro.
Oh, that was harder than I thought.
Karate Man has died 1,000 deaths, but he will never perish.
No!
Now, I finish you. Not so hard to kill.
Joined by the stars and moonlight.
Moose! Hey, my man. Whoa, what's going on here? You've been training hard. What is this, like a keto thing you got going on? Maybe you could give it, I mean, that's like an 8-pack. My God, you just keep getting better and better. Look at that, you're jacked. I mean, you look like you could still play in the league. They could use you right now, playoffs and all that. That's all I'm saying. Listen, I was looking for you. I wanted to have a little chat. It's funny we should run into each other. I was just looking over your contract here. You know, we got you another couple of years here. I mean, very excited, very excited. You're the future. You got a very bright, bright future here, Moose. And I know you're pretty jacked up about being in this main event tonight with Kenny Omega, the god of pro wrestling. And I'm excited too, because I said to Kenny, I said, Moose is just the best athlete we got. I'm so happy that you're in this main event. And I know that you're a smart guy, Moose. You like to look at the big picture, just like the invisible hand. So I think that you and I need to get kind of on the same page. All I'm saying is we got a long time ahead of us. Big future, 2 years, I got you here. Let's not cut off our nose to spite our face now. I'm just saying, I know you're excited about this opportunity, but I would hate to see things get out of hand here tonight. Kenny maybe gets hurt, something costs everyone a lot of money, and then we got this contract. I don't know what I would do with that then. So all I'm saying is, you know, I guess Maybe we brother it up a little bit tonight. You know what I'm saying? Look, you good with that? Good. I like it. I think it's fantastic. You're looking good, kid. I'm going to put in a word with Kenny for you. I'm going to talk to Kenny. I'm going to tell him.
Don.
Yeah.
You of all people should know this about me. Every game I ever played in, regardless of who my teammate was, I played to win. And that's exactly what I'm going to do tonight.
Yeah, but
Hey, I'm still talking, so that means you're still listening. And after I win tonight, I'm going to go after what's rightfully mine, the Impact World title.
I love that. I love that.
After I win that title,
perfect. I love this.
and I'm the undisputed champion here in Impact Wrestling.
Beautiful belt.
Maybe I'll just show up to AEW and take your kid's title from them.
And that, Moose, hey, bro, come on. Don't be like that. Look, we got 2 years together. Come, Moose, brother. Shit.
A rivalry renewed. It has changed the lives of Eddie Edwards and Sami Callihan. Sami Callihan tried to end the career of Eddie Edwards, and now Callihan with a throw. And what the world? There's Ken Shamrock. Here comes Ken Shamrock. There's an ankle lock. Snap, crackle, pop. Alicia Edwards sometime. What the? Where is he? Where's Callihan? Tennille's got Alicia. And Tennille steals one for her team. There he is.
Oh, no. Got that baseball bat in hand.
Oh, the Callihan slugger. Cradle pile driver. Sami Callihan, his quest to destroy Eddie Edwards.
Tonight, me and Eddie Edwards, one more time. Let me give you a piece of advice. If I were you, Eddie, I'd make sure my wife is nowhere around ringside.
Eddie Edwards didn't wait for the match to start. He found Sami backstage and started this fight early.
Their rivalry has spanned the past few years and has defined Impact Wrestling.
After what we've seen these two men put each other through, I don't know how either one of them still have an active career. I don't know how they're still standing.
And the hacker that is Callihan manipulating the lights. That's Alicia Edwards. Oh, and there's a shot by Eddie Edwards. He's got to go find his wife.
Give this to her! This is your fault! This is your fault!
On one of the most important nights in our sports history, two men who are woven into the fabric of this company go to war. D'Lo Brown, this has been an infamous rivalry, and tonight, I believe it just gets worse.
It's going to get worse, and ladies and gentlemen, wait till you see what this ring looks like.
There you see it, ladies and gentlemen. The concept is called Barbed Wire Massacre. Let the pictures tell the story and understand that two human beings are about to enter the fray.
I've never, ever seen anything like this in all my years of professional wrestling. This is just, it's sickening to look at, and I am now in fear. I am now in fear of the two competitors that are about to come in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Barbed Wire Massacre. Introducing the participants first. From an undisclosed location somewhere close to anonymous Ohio, he is the draw, Sami Callihan.
16 years a pro, over 30 championships around the globe. He calls himself the most versatile wrestler in the world. Others call him maniacal. sadistic, ego-driven. But at the end of the day, he is still the draw, Sami Callihan.
He is a draw, Sami Callihan, and he's sick and sadistic, and he fears no one. And some say he does not feel pain. Tonight we're going to test that, because that ring has pain written all over it.
See the bat shaking ominously, swinging in the wind.
His opponent from Boston, Massachusetts, Eddie Edwards.
Nearly 20 years of pro in the sport of professional wrestling, a two-time Impact champion, but this man cut his teeth in the rings of Japan in pro wrestling. Noah and D'Lo, you know, the mileage that puts on the soul, the scar tissue, that's immeasurable.
That's what hardens the soul. And this man, Eddie Edwards, will not back down from anyone. You see him walking to the ring, surveying what he's about to walk into, but yet he's still walking into the ring.
Great point. Eddie Edwards, of course, great friends with Tommy Dreamer. I'm sure Tommy Dreamer spoke to Eddie about a show called Born to Be Wired that featured Terry Funk and Sabu. It was a violent, carnage-filled match. Eddie Edwards has to know what he's getting into. His wife has to know what he's getting into. His kid at home has to know what he's getting into. D'Lo, your thoughts?
Right now, if I'm Alicia, wherever she's at, I know she's probably watching. She has to be watching. Or maybe she can't even watch. Can't even stand to watch it. But I know she is scared for her husband's safety. I know she is fearful of what may happen.
How much should be paid, how much attention should be paid to the fact that Eddie Edwards is an angry fighter, and an angry fighter is a sloppy fighter. Can you afford to be sloppy with Sami Callihan?
You can't be sloppy, but an angry fighter is also a dangerous fighter, and never lose that perspective there. Eddie Edwards and Sami Callihan are both dangerous individuals inside that squared circle.
There's a deep and rich history here. Sami Callihan nearly ended Eddie Edwards' career with a bat to the eye. And then just a few short weeks ago, did it again. Now there's the old saying from Exodus, an eye for an eye. It appears in Leviticus and Deuteronomy as well. And it means that an eye is worth just as much as an eye. And I think people sometimes misconstrue the saying, but here it applies.
It does apply.
Oh, careful. Look at Sami though. Completely just unbothered.
Just didn't even care if the barbed wire just falling on the scrape was on.
Eddie Edwards will attempt to use the Boston Knee Party. It is a signature trademark maneuver of his, of course, the homage to his home in Boston, Massachusetts. Collar and elbow tie-up, which seems strange in a match like this, D'Lo.
It does, but it seems like they're both men are trying to feel it out. And it's about the intimidation factor. Yes, it seems a little weird with a collar and elbow lockup in this type of match, but still, these two know each other so well. I don't think there's any new tricks they can show each other.
But they don't know each other in this environment, so it's a reintroduction, and I think that's important, and we shouldn't lose sight of that. Also, the ropes no longer come into play as they normally would. Everything is different.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. First touch of the barbed wire.
I'm not so sure that leather vest protects Sami Callihan.
No.
And how about both guys? Normally you'd see in the old Texas death matches and things, the guys come in fully dressed. Both of these guys showing flesh. I don't think either are afraid to spill blood and leave flesh behind for their legacies in our sport.
No, I think they're both willing to leave it all in the ring tonight to prove a point that I'm going to beat you or you're going to beat me, but somehow this rivalry is going to come to an end tonight.
You know, the rest of the locker room watching this. There are monitors all over the building. Of course, with protocols in place, people aren't congregating, but the entire locker room looks to these two as the guys right now.
Yes.
But just like every nature show, the lions, the wolves circle, don't they? And eventually the lions, their place is taken. Look at that picture.
My goodness, that just, you can already see the blood flowing. Oh my goodness.
What does this do to your career, D'Lo? We mentioned Sami Callihan, about 16, 17 years a pro. Eddie Edwards, nearly 20 years a pro, just over that. A match like this at this point in your career, why?
It shortens what's left of your career. It shortens it down. This is the equivalent of 50 matches, what you're about to put your body through, what you're about to endure.
But to be willing to do it. And both of these guys, they don't need to prove anything anymore in this sport. I think that's a safe assumption here. But the fact that they're willing to go into this match, I think it shows the hatred, the literal pure vitriol that they have for one another.
Yes, no, they don't have to do it, but they need to do it. They need to do it to prove it to each other, because this rivalry has spanned over 3 years. It is the most violent rivalry in the history of Impact Wrestling, and somehow, some way, it has got to end.
Sami Callihan wearing the boots of war, and very smartly, astutely, sends the barbed wire board out of the ring. Sami Callihan constantly thinking at all times. Ladies and gentlemen, I've just been informed that we have cracked the top 5 trend on Twitter. Hashtag hard to kill. D'Lo Brown, what do you think? Why not? There is no laughing matter, though. As these two have a notorious hostility. Boots to the face. And ladies and gentlemen, when the board was sent out, one of our wires hit. I understand we have lost D'Lo Brown. That very board is sitting right behind Eddie Edwards and Sami Callihan now. Sami now sees his blood, and perhaps that only inspires this maniacal, sadistic, cruel Sami Callihan. And I thank our staff here. We've got our wires back and going. D'Lo Brown, do we have you back?
I am back, and I'm in living color. Here I go. Yeah, when that board came flying out, it came towards our desk and just knocked our headsets out. So, but I'm back. We're good to go. And there's the N64 controller in play.
Wrapped in barbed wire, nonetheless.
Amazing.
You can see that the kendo stick and the bat, the preferred weapons of these respective wrestlers.
It is Sami going for a suplex to the floor?
Yeah, that barbed wire board is set up along our barricades, and you can see that Eddie is dropping his rear, and that makes his weight go closer to the mat, harder for Sami to pull him over.
Yeah, he lowered his level.
Hang on.
What is Eddie doing?
Eddie is gonna fly, and Sami!
My goodness!
Sami Callihan is outsmarting Eddie Edwards. It's not because he's a better wrestler, it's because Eddie Edwards is fighting angry, and Sami's a master manipulator. He knows that he needs an advantage, and this is the advantage, and look, Sami just reveling in it.
Well, you had referenced it earlier that Eddie sometimes is reckless because he's angry. That is a moment right there he was reckless. He just wanted to go inflict damage on Sami, and it backfired.
But it's reckless because Sami made it.
Yes.
Let's take a look again, and there's the impact. Landing hard on his lower back, and now back to the live action, pressing down on that very lower back.
Look at that, and ramming the barbed wire into Eddie's back.
You know, you don't have to like Sami Callihan, but you have to respect him.
Oh, without a doubt.
Oh! Cactus elbow onto the floor. This rivalry has reached a crescendo. Barbed wire massacre. Timing is everything in our sport, folks.
This is just, quite frankly, disturbing. Eddie Edwards is laughing. He is laughing at the pain.
Let's take a look one more time. I called it the cactus elbow because that's who made it infamous, as you saw a little bang bang from Sami. You know, you think about the influence of what is called the death match, if you will, or hardcore wrestling, and it really has forged a spot in our sport. I know a lot of purists may poo-poo it, but at the end of the day, to be a quote-unquote hardcore wrestler, not implying that both of these guys are, but being able to do it, it makes you versatile, right? Don't just have a fastball, have a curveball, have a slider, have a change.
It makes you multidimensional in this business, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I am not opposed to hardcore matches like this. particularly in this situation, this instance, with a rivalry that's gone through every gambit, that's gone through every incarnation of a match. There's got to be some way to end this, and you elevate up. The stakes are higher, so you need this type of match to end this rivalry.
Over the shoulder of Sami Callihan, we peer inside the ring, adorned with barbed wire and other accessories. Eddie Edwards writhing in pain, blood dripping from his face, staining the mat. Sami Callihan stalking with malintent.
Yeah, look at him. Sami's just taking his time. He's about to pick the bones of Eddie Edwards. He wants to inflict as much damage as he can.
Eddie looking around. Where do I want to put him? Where do I want to hurt him? Oh! Sami trying to hurt him.
And you can just see the scars forming, the cuts, the abrasions, the blood.
Well, I mentioned it at the top of the show that this rivalry has scarred the flesh of Impact Wrestling. And I think it's appropriate that a match like Barbed Wire Massacre now embodies that.
This style of match is unbelievable.
Thank you, Eddie. All night long, we've been touting the sport of professional wrestling, but there comes a time where that devolves and it unravels. Eddie Edwards is a better wrestler than Sami Callihan. Is that a fair statement?
Without a doubt, yes.
So what does Eddie need to do to change the momentum in this type of match?
He's got to get control and just control this match. He's got to, like right now, this is where Sami flourishes. Look at this. Oh my goodness. I am at a loss for words. I'm at a loss for words.
Sami Callihan has been so vicious throughout this match. Here is just one example. Turning over a suplex, dumping Eddie onto the top rope, strewn in barbed wire, and then whipping Eddie Edwards with a video game controller wrapped in barbed wire. Yes, I just said that.
Yes. I did not think I'd ever hear those words come out of your mouth, and I just heard them.
Stick around, you'll be surprised. Nice jump kick there by Eddie Edwards. We talked about what does Eddie need to do. He needs to turn this into a wrestling match. And now, here it is, piggyback slam. Could this be what Eddie Edwards needs? Could this be where Eddie Edwards begins to find his hard-to-kill moment?
In the game of football, we can say the momentum shifts. You can see the field tip to one side or the other. Right now, the field tipped completely towards Eddie Edwards with that backpack stunner.
But Eddie Edwards is in a position, to use your football analogy, where the running game hasn't worked. And if that's the case, then play action won't work and a quarterback can't go down the field. Eddie Edwards needs to change his game plan and do it now.
He needs to just air it out, let it go, let it fly. And this is what Eddie Edwards looks like he's doing. He's going after the chair. He's going after that barbed wire wrapped chair.
Is it safe to say that Eddie Edwards almost needs to become Sami Callihan?
He needs to devolve into Sami Callihan and fight Sami's game.
Going for it, Sami able to block it, and there, Thunder Bomb! I'm immediately reminded of Jun Akiyama there.
On the barbed wire chair. You see how he's covering him?
And again, I love the international influence. We talked about Eddie's experience in Japan, and I think it's okay to mention wrestlers all around the world because it puts moves into context.
Absolutely. Did you see the way Eddie was trying to cover there? He wasn't covering to win. He was covering Blue Thunder Bomb right here. If we see the cover, he wasn't covering to win. He was covering to inflict damage with that barbed wire.
Smart, great observation.
That wasn't about getting the victory right there. It was about inflicting damage.
Now Eddie, with a barbed wire steel chair in hand, tosses it aside. Sees that Sami Callihan is in a precarious position here, trapped between the ring ropes and the panel of the steel cage. Oh! And again, Sami out-quickens or outsmarts Eddie Edwards.
He baited Eddie in, and Eddie took the bait and just went head first into that siding of the steel cage.
Look, Eddie Edwards isn't that much better than Sami, but he is better, and Sami knows it, and he has to even the playing field. Barbed Wire Massacre isn't enough. It has to be a mental game for Sami Callihan to succeed.
Sami is being very cerebral right now. He is in Eddie's head. He's in his head.
Oh, he's also in his head.
Yes.
No disqualifications, obviously, if you haven't figured that out by now. Eddie Edwards, what a career. And if it ends like this tonight, he has nothing to be ashamed of. Sami Callihan, on the other hand, will maybe one day look back with some remorse.
No, I don't think he'll ever look. This in good and evil is a matter of perspective, and in Sami's perspective, he's doing what's right. He'll never look back on this and say, "Oh man," with any kind of remorse.
Oh, that's interesting. When we ate from the tree of knowledge, we as humans decided what was right and wrong, and thus the world went to hell in a handbasket. Notice there, look, Eddie has barbed wire cuts on his ankles, on his calves. We talked about exposing flesh in this kind of match. Eddie's lower extremities are suffering.
Look at, they're both ripping barbed wire off the cage.
What's hanging? Bloody tape, bloody barbed wire, bloody faces. This is hard to kill.
Just let this breathe for a second. Look what these two men are doing to each other. Sami's crawling over.
You almost have to admire the determination.
You have to admire it. And neither man is going to back down. They both want to end this. Sami with the kendo stick wrapped in barbed wire.
That is the preferred weapon of Eddie Edwards, and in a juxtaposition, Eddie now has a preferred weapon of Sami Callihan.
And they're squaring off with each other's weapons. Wait.
How about Eddie Edwards? Here, man. Live by the sword, die by the sword. You want this? Here's yours. I'll take mine. Let's fight!
Am I wrong? There is a slight nod of respect between the two of them.
It says that Eddie Edwards, no matter what, we've used this word devolve, Eddie Edwards will always remain steeped in morals and ethics. And sometimes pro wrestling isn't a place for someone like that. Oh. Ooh, look how he pulls it out.
That's ripping, ripping at him. That's ripping at Sami.
Oh! Referee Brandon Toll right there checking on Eddie Edwards. We talked about it in the Taya Diana match. When is enough enough?
Eddie just got guillotined by that chain that's just strung from corner to corner. Wow. In full disclosure, I'm going to let the world know you jumped out of your seat when that happened, because that's not something that you...
Well, I mean, look and listen.
Look at this.
Of course I'm going to jump out of my seat. That's a human being. I've come to know Eddie Edwards and his wife. We share a lot of conversations, laughter, candy, all these things. It hurts to see your friend in there, but sometimes you got to put that aside, so I apologize.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. No need to apologize. You are a human being as well, and you're reacting. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in my time in the business. I'll be the first one to say that.
Now, Sami Callihan arranging a barbed wire board. I don't know if Sami has a degree in engineering, but he looks like he did a pretty good job.
He did a pretty good job of erecting that. I will say that.
He just did. What does Sami Callihan have in mind here?
There's a thumb to the eye right there. Look at that.
D'Lo, it's a crappy move, but it's smart.
It's effective. You blind your opponent, you cause pain. Is he going for the pile driver?
No. Shoulders down, leg covered, 2. There is something called fighting spirit, and Eddie Edwards has it. And if he'd been missing it this entire night, finally he has woken up. Finally Eddie Edwards realizes what's in front of him, and Eddie Edwards does not care about anything other than tonight. Pile driver through a barbed wire board, and Eddie Edwards still is alive.
I don't know what I just saw. I don't know how Eddie kicked out, but it has to be that fighting spirit. It has to be the will to win.
We talk about Japanese wrestling. We'll see a lot of it in our main event tonight. That fighting spirit is huge. It's the energy that a fighter gives off, and the crowd and the world feeds off of that energy as well. Energy is contagious, and right now Eddie Edwards' energy may be fading.
Here it is. Oh!
That is a callback to the first time Sami blinded Eddie Edwards. Eddie would have none of it.
Eddie is just fighting. He's setting him up. Is he?
Boston knee party on the chair. Barbed wire, rolling over, shoulders down, leg is hooked, and on a one count.
Get down on one!
You talk about fighting spirit, you talk about dark energy, Sami Callihan has it.
Sami is showing that same vigor.
Hey, look at that, a modification on Emerald Flosion. The shout to Misawa, Eddie's wrestling hero. Is it enough? It is!
Wow!
Here is your winner, Eddie Edwards.
How fitting that we talked about Eddie Edwards' career in Japan. It's the move that he used to win the Global Honor Crown title so many years ago. He puts it as his own, a cross-legged Emerald Flosion, and there you see his wife coming to his aid. Eddie Edwards, for what you've given to our sport. On behalf of everyone, we say thank you. And Sami Callihan as well. You might not like him, D'Lo, but you have to respect what he's given to our sport.
No, I don't like him one bit, but I respect what those two men just put themselves through. The match, the pain, the intensity, and the throwback to the great Misawa by Eddie Edwards to win this match with the Emerald Flosion. Just tremendous. And there you see Eddie's wife, Alicia. She said she would not come down during the match. She came down to take a look. Right there, that Boston knee party into the chair. And then there's the Emerald Flosion and the 1, 2, 3. What a tremendous match. What a just.
Look at that picture. Wow. The Edwards family has to rejoice wherever they are right now. Understand, whomever raised Eddie Edwards, whoever raised that young man, raised him well, and it's an honor and a privilege to be a part of a sport when you meet people that do the right thing, that stand up for honor. I just think that's something that, honestly, D'Lo, for me, it truly means that professional wrestling is really where it's at today. As I look down at my notes, what a night it's been, D'Lo Brown.
So far, it's been amazing. Hard to Kill has been off the charts. We're trending in the top 5 in the world. Thank you. Yep. Hashtag Hard to Kill. And with action like we just saw there, what is in store in the main event?
Well, the main event is coming up, and the next time we come your way on pay-per-view is in April. And ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you're seeing here tonight, get ready for what we're about to give you. Ladies and gentlemen, cannot wait for April. Ladies and gentlemen, this entire night has been built around a concept, and that concept is our main event. What it has done to the sport, our sport will never be the same. Let's take a look at this story. Ladies and gentlemen, Hard to Kill is trending. We're making history in the greatest sport in the world, professional wrestling.
I've known this man since he was 10 years old, and I watched him as he became a world-class athlete. I watched him as he became the best wrestler in the world. I was there like an invisible hand.
You see, Kenny and Don Callis, we're family.
You were on Impact Wrestling on Access TV with that belt.
What we do is change history.
All the paradigms are being broken.
It was all part of the plan for me to come to Impact Wrestling. It was all part of the plan when Tony Khan invited me into his house very graciously at Kenny's request.
Don Callis has led a screw job here
and taking advantage of Tony Khan's hospitality. Welcome to the wrestling business, kid. We just been jobbed.
All the paradigms are being broken.
That's Kenny Omega's boss. Kenny Omega, he's here.
Carl, tonight I got you one-on-one. And you know, we're gonna give you a little preview of what it's gonna be like when you lose those tag team titles to us in the future.
You don't talk to the 2012 G1 finalists like that. You get him. Go get him.
Handful of tights.
Okay. That's the guy.
And Carl Anderson steals one from Chris Sabin. And there's Rich Swann. There's the world champ.
I'm kind of pissed off.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Rich Swann?
I'm not gonna let this guy run around and run the show.
Spoiling the party for Carl Anderson.
He's a champ. He kind of does what he wants sometimes.
You're right about one thing,
Yeah.
champ. Champ does what he wants. Beat the cheat like this. Hey, Rich, this may be your house, yeah? You may be the champion. As long as you're a wrestler, this is my world, and you're just living it.
There are certain things in life that are just out of our control, and unfortunately, my ability to compete at Hard to Kill has been dropped into that bucket. I owe an apology to Chris Sabin. I owe one to Rich Swann. I owe one to the fans, and I owe a receipt to the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega.
Moose, bro!
I tried to get a hold of
really?
you.
Moose? What do you mean you tried to get a
Rich,
hold
I
of me?
understand.
I didn't get no phone call. I didn't get no email. This is the guy that beat the crap out of Willie Mack, one of my best friends, dog. And you expect me to stand alongside this dude, a fake world champion? A dude who carries the TNA world title?
Do you want to win this match? Do you remember lying out on the ground out here when those guys jumped you? You need somebody that can have your back. And if there's one thing that he loves more than himself, is winning.
I'll work with Moose. But I hope you're right. I hope this is the right decision, because we know how unstable Moose is.
Got this, Rich.
The moment we have been waiting for is finally upon us. We thank everyone for joining us around the globe. This is the night that you have waited for. From that cold December night on an AEW broadcast to right here, we are Hard to Kill.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Hard to Kill main event of the evening. It is a six-man tag team contest scheduled for one fall. Introducing team number one first. He is the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, Moose.
He stands 6 feet 6.5 inches tall. He weighs in at 270 pounds. He has dropped 20 pounds. He truly is hyper-focused on being the best. Drafted in 2006 for the National Football League, it wasn't rough enough for him. So Moose found the sport of professional wrestling, and he is here tonight at Hard to Kill.
His tag team partner from Detroit, Michigan, Chris Sabin.
With 20-plus years of experience, this young man certainly has left an indelible mark on our sport. He is a former IWGP Junior Tag Team Champion, and the reason that statement carries weight is because he did it with Alex Shelley, who was supposed to be in this match, now is no longer in this match. So D'Lo Brown, Chris Sabin has to find a different gear. I certainly believe he's capable.
Oh, I have no doubt that he will find that gear and he will execute it to perfection. I have no doubt.
And their tag team partner from Baltimore, Maryland, he is the Impact World Champion, Rich Swann!
You know, D'Lo, so many experts are saying tonight is such a big night for Impact, such a big night for Impact. I think tonight's a big night for AEW as well, because their fans and their champion get to see the very best wrestler in the Impact locker room. They get to experience Rich Swann, and I don't think that's something people should sleep on.
Absolutely. The AEW fans get to see the best that Impact Wrestling has to offer. The world gets to see the best that Impact Wrestling has to offer, and right there, you're looking at him, the Impact World Champion.
Nearly 20 titles, none more prestigious than the one he captured recently. Of course, the Impact title. Rich Swann, trained by our friends Adam
Flash and Ruckus, shouting out some of those old Maryland and Northeast names.
Their opponents first, from Tokyo, Japan, the Big LG Doc Gallows, Machine Gun Carl Anderson. They are the Impact World Tag Team Champions. They are the Good Brothers.
On the left, you see Carl Anderson, a veteran of 21 years, trained under the watchful eye of Roger Ruffin. He has captured nearly 25 championships. He has recently made the stateside transition because Carl Anderson has forged his career in the rings of Japan. That man right there, Doc Gallows, 6 feet 8 inches tall, 300 pounds, also nearly 20 years of experience, and essentially, this is just a farm boy from the Mid-Atlantic who has turned into a good brother.
Yeah, he is just one of the toughest SOBs I've ever seen around wrestling. Both of these men are great professional wrestlers. They've been all over the world, but their home is Impact Wrestling.
Now, we wait for the moment that people will remember. They will tell their children where they were the night Kenny Omega stepped inside of an Impact Wrestling ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to introduce to you a man so special. There is only one person on earth that has the linguistic capacity to do a proper introduction. This man is a legend in his early 30s. Gotch, Hackenschmidt, Fez, Race, Flair, Hogan, all pale in comparison and are all insects in the shadow of the god of professional wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, the wrestling capital of the world, at 224 pounds, he is your AEW World Champion, Kenny, by God, Omega!
Gentlemen, here is the moment the world has been waiting for. Kenny Omega, the AEW World Champion, is about to walk out on an Impact Wrestling stage. This is the big fight feel? Can you feel it? Can you feel the energy?
He's making everyone wait. A true superstar knows how to make an entrance. A man that has revolutionized our sport, Kenny Omega. If you want to go and research his career, once this show is over, please do so. Understand the trials and tribulations, the miles this man has put underneath his waistline to carry that prestigious title that sits along his waist. Kenny Omega from Winnipeg, Canada, giving all young kids in Winnipeg another athlete to look up to. Back in the day, they grew up looking at Dale Howard-Schuff, or maybe now Blake Wheeler. Now you look at a guy like Kenny Omega, and you have something to attach yourself to beyond the great sport of hockey.
He's giving the youngsters out there something that they can attain, something they can look forward to. And here he is, Kenny Omega, circling the ring. Once again, making everyone wait. Ladies and gentlemen, all I can say is just sit back, let's watch, and let's see how this plays out. And I guarantee you we're all going to be entertained by what we're about to see.
Having someone like Kenny Omega in this match, it changes everything. Having someone like Kenny Omega walk through the halls of Impact, having someone like Kenny Omega have his own private dressing room in the back of Skyway Studios, that can't sit well with all the other men and women that have built this company. Look at Sabin, look at Moose, look at Swann. Forget their differences. Impact was built on their backs.
Yes.
They cannot feel good about that as Brian Hebner just takes a quick tumble. He's been assigned this task. D'Lo, break this down for us.
But right now, it's you see the lines are being drawn. On one side, you've got Moose and Sabin and Rich Swann, and they're standing up for the pride of Impact Wrestling. And on the other side, you've got the Good Brothers, who are almost turncoats. And by God, Kenny Omega coming to prove that he thinks AEW is the more powerful, more prestigious championship and company. This is going to be one hell of a battle. I don't see a chess match here. I see a bunch of fists flying and feet flying and clotheslining and people getting the snot knocked out of their mouth. And this is going to be one hell of a match.
Of course, this match, a joint promotion, if you will, All Elite Wrestling and Impact. And with that, we say hello to Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur. They do the commentary for All Elite Wrestling. What I like that AEW does is they give wrestlers without a contract a chance.
Yes.
You know, and I saw guys like Mike Magnin from New York get an opportunity, things like that. What does that mean for wrestling when AEW gives people opportunity?
Well, once again, opportunity breeds place to go. It gives you something to aspire for. And when they're giving guys opportunities like that, like we do here at Impact Wrestling, it gives you something to strive for. So my hat's off to them. I tip my hat to them, but, you know, collar and elbow lockup.
See Carl Anderson controlling the arm of Chris Sabin. Both of these guys have made careers as tag team wrestlers, but make no mistake, they are equally as effective on their own. Sabin goes through the pressure, the athleticism of Chris Sabin into the arm drag.
You see Sabin elevate the pace of the matchup real quick and take Anderson out of his game plan, because Anderson wanted to slow this match down, grind it down, right. And Sabin had nothing to do with that.
You know, we saw Don Callis trying to pander to Moose. My question is, what becomes of the useful idiot when he is no longer useful? It wasn't rhetorical.
You know, he gets thrown out the pasture.
Carl Anderson controlling the wrist of Chris Sabin, sends him into the turnbuckle. Sabin using the bottom ropes to get away. Hits the opposite side, ducks the clothesline, and now a deep arm drag from Chris Sabin. Nice head scissor counter there by Carl, and back to the headlock takeover. This is evenly matched, Brown.
Absolutely, right there you see a standoff. Both men are evenly matched.
So I always try to watch a wrestler's belly, their midriff, see if they're breathing hard. Carl Anderson hasn't cracked a sweat.
No, he cut his teeth in the dojos of Japan. Cardio is the one thing they do over there better than anybody else.
And now here, because Moose is in this match, this part of the match changes. The big men, here we go! Gallows on the move.
This is more about machismo and bravado than anything else, D-Lo.
How often do you see someone look eye to eye with Gallows or eye to eye with Moose? I mean, look at them. They are both 6'6" monsters.
See, Gallo has a much longer strike range. Moose likes to use the forearm of Gallo with the Hefe uppercut and some sign language, and Moose will have none of it. You have to also remember that the brothers came into this company not too long ago. They commanded big money, big contract. That can't sit well with guys that have laid their lives on the line for Impact.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got to rub people the wrong way in the locker room where you see you worked and you toiled and you built this company, and these two guys come in with all the fanfare and get the big contracts and get all the opportunities, and then they turn their backs on the company they came to.
Here we go, the Patrick Laine of wrestling. For all my hockey fans out there, and you see the T-shirt. It references a movement. Now, a few weeks ago, 5 men stood in the middle of the ring and held up a universal sign, and I have heard a lot of people say that that moment allowed them to forget the negative themes that have been thrown at us this past year and reminded them that the common denominator amongst us all is that we all love professional wrestling.
And that's an important thing. That's what we're all watching tonight. That's why you and I are here tonight. We all love this business. It's boiling down.
To your point, it was only a matter of time. Here we go. And let's not forget that the concept of that group that we're talking about was foreigners infiltrating, and I guess art imitates life because that's going on.
Well, they're technically foreigners, invading our territory here at Impact Wrestling. So
look at Kenny, so smart. Front chancery on Rich Swann, the champion. The fact that these two have touched is monumental in and of itself. Carl Anderson now in, stalking Rich Swann.
I will ask you this, Striker. Did you ever think you'd see the day when you would see world champions from 2 different companies in the same ring at the same time?
Look, as a kid, I grew up reading wrestling magazines, and I remember Bob Backlund wrestled Harley Race, or Nick Bockwinkel would wrestle. That, to me, was always special. And Rich Swann is a special wrestler, as was displayed right there. Taunting Kenny, tag made, here comes Chris Sabin. Oh, looks like Moose is coming in as well.
Moose just said, "The hell with it, I'm going in."
Well, I think that's smart. Again, remember what these 3 men are fighting for. They're fighting for the honor of Impact, but they're also fighting for the respect of what people have given to this sport. You cannot walk into a locker room anymore and expect something to be handed to you. And D'Lo, I think those old antiquated mores, those old, oh my God!
Oh my, what the hell did I just see?
Cover! The point I was going to make is those old ways are gone. Guys like Moose now are the sport. Walking in, giving the limp handshake, or giving up your seat, or carrying someone's bag. I get the respect, but the sport is evolving, and these 6 men are right here, right now, at the height, the zenith of it, if you will.
Absolutely, they're right at the leading edge of what this business is evolving to.
Is it zenith or zenith?
Zenith.
Not fair.
That's okay if you're Canadian, zenith.
Zenith. So many times. And, you know, it's been interesting. Moose has been working well with Swann and Sabin, as evident by the pictures on your screen, and then this.
And this, just one of the most athletic things I've ever seen from a man, 6'6", 270 pounds, to a standing moonsault.
You know, Moose said something interesting, that he played in the NFL with guys he didn't like, he played in the NFL with guys he hated. But once that whistle sounded, they were all his brothers, and I think that mentality applies.
Without a doubt, you can see it's about winning the match.
Hang on, is this enough here? A backbreaker from the All Elite Wrestling champion. D'Lo, I got a question for you, and I know it'll probably, cause some controversy, but hey, is Kenny Omega pound for pound the best wrestler in the world?
You know, many people debate, you can debate either way. I've seen him go out there and have some of the best matches in the world in Japan. And he's gone there toe-to-toe with some of the best wrestlers in the world. By God, Kenny Omega is one of the best out there.
That's Don Callis.
Don Callis, he can't stay away from the mic, can he?
But he brings up a good point. You know, look, the brothers are a tag team. They understand tag team wrestling. Sabin is without Alex Shelley. So, of course, the brothers are going to control the ring, cut it off. Look where Carl Anderson is. He's between Sabin and his corner. It's basic, it's rudimentary, but it works.
And it's perfect positioning. You see that right there, Carl Anderson's got his back to his opponents because he knows his teammates are watching his back.
Omega nodding in approval. He knows the brothers so well. Now Sabin continues to fight. Double clotheslines. Both athletes down now. Brian Hebner checks the corner and begins his count.
The wrestlers have till the count of 10 to rise to their feet.
A decided advantage will be won by who can get to their corner and get to their feet first.
Tag made, here's Kenny, here's Rich Swann.
World champ versus world champ right here.
We asked the question, is Kenny Omega pound for pound the best wrestler? We have to ask the same question about Rich Swann, and then it begs the question, what can Rich do that Kenny can't, and vice versa?
Right, we're gonna find out right now, aren't we?
Jump up kick there, stuns Omega. Sabin now, Swann now dealing jump up. Oh! Sends Omega on to Anderson. Gallows in now. He shuts down Swann. Moose neutralizes Gallows' presence.
Gallows to the floor.
Back into the fray is Chris Sabin.
What is going on here?
Sabin is going to use Swann as if he were Shelley. Nice assisted DDT. Omega down to the floor. Sabin and Swann working together again. Anderson now caught, head trapped, DDT.
Swann
and look at Don.
Sabin are working well together, and Don is panicking.
But look where Don goes, right to Kenny.
Right to Kenny.
Here we go.
Oof. Ooh, wow.
Beautiful attack by Swann. Sabin on the other side.
Everybody is down. Moose is up. Moose is checking on everybody.
Swann back to Kenny Omega. To me, this is the money match. I think this is the match that people want to see. Take a look at our world champion taking out the All Elite Wrestling world champion. Frog splash blocked by Kenny Omega. Take nothing away from Kenny. I understand that he has the quote-unquote outsider stink on him, but Kenny Omega is a bright, talented young man, and whether you like him or not, you have to respect the fact that he loves wrestling. He loves his fans. He interacts with them all the time. That's something that's hard to dismiss.
Without a doubt. I mean, Kenny Omega is one of the best wrestlers on this planet, bar none. No mistakes about it. He does interact with his fans. He cares about this business. You may not like him. You may not even respect him.
Oh boy.
But he's damn good.
You know, we're using these terms, world champion. And all around the world, different companies have their champions. Over in New Japan, Ibushi is the champion. He's actually a dual title holder. A lot of people talk about the connection between Ibushi and Kenny Omega. I think it would be interesting to have champions from all around the world compete here on Impact Wrestling. Perhaps maybe a tournament on paper.
Oh, I would love that.
Okay, Chris Sabin
I would love to call that.
Tag made. Doc Gallows now approaching from the rear, clasping the head and chin, picking up Rich Swann with one hand as the big man.
I don't know about you, but it seems like when Doc Gallows gets in the ring, I almost hear the theme song from Jurassic Park when the T-Rex is chasing people down. Like, that's what he looks like when he walks in the ring, like a giant dinosaur.
These three men have stood in rings around the world. They stood in rings in a Tokyo Dome, in Hanover, Germany, and now here in Nashville, Tennessee, Jacksonville, Florida. Everywhere they go, their wrestling is a universal language. Swann slips out from the slam. Big right hand. Kenny has his hands up trying to defend.
Ooh, and there's the low road right there with the boot to the back.
First leaping leg lariat. Kenny with a cover. Deep. Hey, one thing I noticed about Kenny Omega, every time he covers for the win.
He covers with the intent to win. He makes you, exhaust a maximum effort to kick out of his pin attempts.
Of course, folks, if you're liking this, wait till the next time that you see us on pay-per-view. A call to arms has been put out. It's time for a change. It is time for a rebellion.
A triple splash.
Cover. Ryan Hebner right in there, and Chris Sabin able to break it up. You know, I like a pissed-off Sabin.
Oh, I love pissed-off Sabin's a good Sabin. He steps his game up. Yeah. He works harder. He's more intense.
Yeah, he's so quiet, but they say still waters run deep.
The quiet ones are the one you have to watch out for.
You have to watch out for Kenny Omega as he stomps the back of the Impact champion, Rich Swann. Swann says no as Brian Hebner asks him the question of, do you want to quit? Over the shoulder of Don Callis, we see Kenny Omega trapping the left ankle of Rich Swann. Oh.
And right there, Swann is trying to get out.
Oh!
Look at that.
Great move by Swanny.
Can Swanny make the tag? He's got the tag to Moose.
Big man blows right through Kenny Omega.
Wow!
Pounce-like shoulder tackle sends the AEW champion down. Uranagi on Anderson. Gallows in now. Headbutt.
Wow! Moose is on fire right now.
Yeah, I have to admit, when this match started, I didn't like Moose in it. But now I think this is an ingredient that we needed.
Yo, it's bang! Look at that!
Wow. So impressive. And look at the mockery.
A triple kick in the corner.
Omega staggers back out. Discus clothesline.
That's gotta be it. Cover.
Omega inside out.
Cover.
History here tonight. Look at Moose's face. Moose is so confident in his skills, he thought that was over. And now Moose making the tag to Sabin, Sabin directing traffic. These three working well together thus far.
Absolutely right, and it's literally Team Impact going for the win.
Kenny wise to get out of trouble. The brothers now trying to rectify the wrongs that have been done here. Just like that, now it is the brothers and Kenny Omega that fill the ring, and Chris Sabin is the one to suffer. Cover here. D'Lo, I've noticed Kenny Omega has gone for every cover. It's as if this team needs and wants Kenny to get the victory.
It feels that way, and it feels like it's a statement. If Kenny gets the win, it's a statement win.
This gut wrench holding Sabin. Power Omega, sit out power bomb. Feet are over the shoulders. Chris Sabin kicks out.
Maybe it's an orchestrated plan that Kenny Omega is going to go for every cover because they need him to get the win.
As Moose and Gallows fight in front of us, Kenny Omega has his sights set on Chris Sabin, but Moose cuts him off. Gallows, nice thrust kick. Keep your eye on Sabin.
Drop kick.
Nicely done. Ooh, sure you can. Spin, Swann, got caught, stun gun, but Swann was able to block it.
Nice.
Turn around.
V-trigger.
Is that enough?
Let's go.
Swann stirring, rolling away. Middle of the ring. Kenny Omega to the top. Moose coming in. Gosh, how athletic
Look
is
at
Moose.
that. Oh my God!
Standing C4, Spanish fly off the top rope. Sabin has Omega now. Could we be witnessing history here?
This is it. Drop him. Cover.
Shoulders are down. 2. No.
My goodness.
Ladies and gentlemen, 6 of the finest athletes in our sport giving you everything. Let's take a look at the replay.
Look at this. Look at the athleticism from Moose. The Spanish fly up the top.
My gosh, look at the impact.
Oh, look at that. It's just crazy that man that big can move as nimble as he can.
See Kenny Omega now struggling to make the tag. Sabin trying to stop him. The long arms of Doc Gallows come into play. Hands up now. Ooh! Roundhouse shin kick. Let's see what the brothers have in mind here. Tandem offense, signature, cover here. No! Hutski almost had it there.
Yeah, that was close. It looked like Swann was caught in between making the save, and I don't know what happened. He just got caught up a little bit.
You know it as well as I do. Sometimes when you get your bell wrong, there's that like cognition blackout, you know? Tag made. Legal man is Big LG Doc Gallows.
They're going for the Magic Killer? No.
Sabin knew it, had it scouted. Of course, the Guns and brothers have a deep history. Sabin now has only one man that he needs to get to, and it's fitting that it is the world champion Rich Swann. You see his hand outstretched. Sabin crawling now. Tag made to Kenny Omega. Tag made to Rich Swann. These two renew hostilities.
And look at two world champions going toe-to-toe right there, exchanging blows. One for one, neither backing down.
And these are two great wrestlers. The fact that they're resorting to... Oh,
snap suplex, oh my goodness.
That's the difference for Kenny Omega.
Oh, that has to be it.
Is that enough? No.
Save. Oh.
My gosh, what Rich Swann has been through physically in the last year is compounded by the damage that has been inflicted upon him in this match.
What is Omega planning next? What is he going to do?
Take a look in the eyes of Kenny.
He's like wild. He's just got these wild eyes.
Well, they say that the great ones are always a little bit off.
A little off.
Rich Swann, his right hand is the only thing that is holding him on right now.
And he's lost it. He's anchored in that top rope. Thank goodness, because it's a long way down.
Kenny Omega beating upon the back of Rich Swann, trying to gain the advantage. Rich Swann now, headbutt to the bridge of the nose. Electric chair from Moose. That's 6'8" coming into play here. Kenny's in a bad spot, slips off the sweaty back and uses Moose as a battering ram. Oh boy, it's one-winged on
Is he going for the one-winged?
How is that?
He's going, he was trying for it.
Oh, slips off now. Kenny in a bad place. Modification on the Doomsday device. Two, no, Don was almost onto the ring.
Don was scared right there. He thought that was it.
I think Don Callis realizes that what he has done, if it's ever revealed, if there is ever a disclosure, Don Callis is in for it because some people feel he's betrayed Impact Wrestling.
Well, and I think that's why the boys from Impact are fighting so hard tonight to prove Don Callis wrong.
Nice.
You picked the wrong side.
Combination there by Rich Swann. Wants to kick this Kenny. V-trigger again. Now, one-winged. Is this it?
No. Swann counter.
Nice
Poison
rewind.
Rana. Poison Rana.
Kenny's still up, though. The kick.
Buzzsaw.
Another one. Down goes Kenny Omega. Rich Swann now goes up. Only one thing left to do. Finish this. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, no. What is it going to take to end this match? These 6 men have left it all out there. Rich Swann's going back up again.
We talked about what can Rich Swann do that Kenny can't. What makes Rich different than Kenny? And I think that Rich believes it's the top rope maneuvers. Gallows, though, does not care.
Magic Killer.
Is this it? Sabin out. Shoulders down. No! Ooh, how about the fact that Moose saved Rich Swann?
That shows he's all in this match. Trigger on Moose.
Now with Moose removed, once again we go back to Omega and Swann. Oh. V-trigger, I think Swann is out on his feet.
One-winged angel. Oh, that's it.
1, 2, 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winners, the Good Brothers, and the AEW World Champion, Kenny Omega.
The All-Elite Wrestling Champion, Kenny Omega, has just pinned the Impact Wrestling Champion, Rich Swann. Let that statement sink in.
That's an amazing, amazing accomplishment. This has been an amazing night, and that was an amazing match.
Honestly, on behalf of everyone in the wrestling community, take a look at how this match ended. Take a look at how he did it. One-winged angel right down on the back of the net. Rich Swann is out. 3 seconds is all it takes for history to be made. And ladies and gentlemen, D'Lo, I know you can agree, this is a great sport. We love it. From independent wrestling all the way to the top. This sport is amazing, and I can't think of a better time to be a fan.
What a time to be alive. Hard to kill. Impact Wrestling. What the hell did we just watch? It was a great match. I cannot believe what we put out here tonight for Impact Wrestling, for the world, with all the eyes of the wrestling business focused squarely on this company.
As we take a look at the Good Brothers, Kenny Omega and Don Callis, making sure they bring the prestigious All Elite Wrestling title with them. On behalf of D'Lo Brown, all the wrestlers in the Impact locker room, everyone in the production truck, we thank you so much for making Hard to Kill such a success. Ladies and gentlemen, good night.